Zach, I've been kind of moving my collection around. I'm still. It's been like over a year and a half already. I'm still like moving in, you know. Sure. And you find like you go through your closet, you like start unearthing all these collectibles. Like, oh my god, I totally forgot I had any of these.
Blow up dolls.
Yeah, or just whatever. Like replicas of your mom, Eddie.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
What did he say?
I'm sorry. But Zach, have you ever smelled mothballs?
Wow. I thought you said my mom.
There's a lady at my work that smells just like that. So yeah.
I have not. Should I have?
Marco, do you know what mothballs smell like?
I heard they smelled really terrible. Actually, I've smelled them once, but it was really strong.
Really?
It's like people that don't floss and they get the...
That was good.
Got him.
That was
it. That's all I had.
Holy shit.
All right, you fucking...
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
You've got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Fucking guy. Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Eddie.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. I want to thank everybody from watching and listening, wherever you're at. Also, shout out Ben. He's not feeling well. We love you, Ben. Get well soon.
The Canadian flu.
Yeah, the Canadian flu.
Sucking too much face lately. Just kidding.
We want to give a huge shout out to Collector Zone for believing in us. Hell yeah.
For believing in us. Let's take a look at the chat. We got Toy Mafia, Sam Gist, Ben Thomas, Yomo, Six Scale Collector, Super Daniel, Oilers Workshop, Collector Joey, Toy Mafia. We got Calvin in the chat. You guys had a little Cali meetup yesterday for Cuervo's birthday, 40th birthday.
Yep. It's 40th.
Dang, that's
I know
badass.
you guys talk about doing OxCon and Cali, but you guys do it like every week, so it's kind of like be running it back.
Well, only the important ones.
There you go. OG fan. Yomo, Absolute Irwin, 16fix. Ben says he's super sick. Yeah, we wish him well in his health journey to
herpes really takes
health.
it out of you.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's funny.
Christ.
Not too sick to post a Grand Theft Auto reaction trailer. So no, he recorded that yesterday. It's a joke.
Oh my god!
Although he did the classic YouTuber like the like the surprise face. I was like, Ben's eating it up, bro.
Get it or not?
He's gonna have twice our sub count any day now. Nick's Collectibles, Philip, happy, I think it's belated birthday, or happy birthday. I don't recall, but it's his. Okay, it's his birthday as well.
Happy birthday,
hey, happy birthday,
Ben
buddy.
Thomas, Cram, and Trevor Weed.
I hope Philip is coming in live from Ojos Locos. That's my hope.
Jeez, there's a lot of things I'd be coming in Ojos Locos.
Wow.
Let's see here.
Pronounced Coom.
Jesus. Dean, we have a very special segment that all of our best shows start with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I took my first step into a much larger world this week.
Came out.
Wow.
Is that why you were cleaning up the closet?
No.
You came out of that was good, Eddie.
Mythic Legions.
He smelled some other balls.
Whoa, you did. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Not if there's anything wrong with that.
Mythic
No, of course.
Legions. This is the Dark Templar, and then I also got this guy.
Damn.
I don't know what he's called,
Big as
but
fuck.
yeah, I'm super impressed with Mythic Legion so far. I got a bunch of other shit that I ordered from some other collectors. There's a Facebook group that I'm a member of, and I'm deep down that rabbit hole. So it's
way deep.
Well, because I really love Dark Souls and Elden Ring and stuff. And
I was going to say those are Elden Ring ass figures right there.
It really is the closest line to anything like that.
I'm surprised you know, Marco. I didn't realize you played Elden Ring.
Wow. One would think I didn't.
He did for a little bit.
Wow.
Motherfucker never started playing again.
When the DLC drops, we're getting back after it.
Yeah, there you go.
For a week.
So I've had this itch that I just can't scratch, you know. And
Ben's got cream for that.
Yeah.
Wow. He's on fire today.
I'm just glad it wasn't a fat joke. Anyway. And yeah, so I went over to Steven's Collectibles. He's got a bunch of stuff in stock, and he did some price matching for me, and yeah, so super stoked. If you guys are into Mythic Legions, get at me, and you know I'm trying to learn all I can. So that is very cool. And then also, I did finally get in the mail. I tracked this down. Luis Tucathri, beautiful Tucathri, sent me the missile packs for my VF1s from Macross. So it came with 3 sets, so I could fit 3 Valks with the 1 set, and I have done that. I did that last time on unboxing. Here's the VF1J. So cool. And yeah, so that was nice. It was supposed to be a surprise, but the fucking mail, for whatever reason, lost the package. And so
Surprise!
he was like, "Hey, this was supposed to be delivered by now, and it's not showing it as delivered." And I was like, "Oh, well, what the fuck is getting delivered?" And he was like, "Well, it's supposed to be a surprise, but you know, I got you this thing for Japan." So I did find it. Obviously, it's now in my collection. A huge shout out to him. It was very nice. But that was my week.
That is really nice, Tucatri. That's actually so nice.
Yeah, where's ours?
I can't wait for my gift.
Wow. Yeah, where's mine?
Well,
Japan.
Oh.
I love Japan.
Can't wait for my gift. Eddie continues to be firing on all cylinders, both in jokes and new this week's.
Oh, dude, for real, Eddie is killing it.
I can't wait for him to tap out in 2 weeks from now and just sell his whole collection again. But we'll enjoy the ride while it's here.
Wow.
I deserve that, I think.
Oh yeah, you do.
So I finally, this wave went up for order like a month ago. It's already here. The McFarlane Toys Batman and Robin wave came in. It only went up for pre-order like the beginning of November, so that's a quick turnaround. And I think they only announced it back in July, because I remember seeing it at SDCC Comic-Con, the announcement. So I want to say that's when it was announced.
I think it was, or after maybe New York City.
Oh, maybe.
It was not that long ago. You're right. That turnaround was crazy.
Yeah, it was quick. I've been waiting forever to be able to pose Batman and Robin running together. I have the Hot Toys, but they don't pose. They're not good enough to get into a running pose, so I was really happy to be able to do that. I love the wave. It's a sick wave. If you guys, I think every single figure in the wave hits. My only 2 complaints are Mr. Freeze is kind of small for the Build-A-Figure of it. Like, he's bigger than them, but he should be a little bigger than he is. And then Robin, the red on Robin. In the movie, it's a little more like a, I don't want to say like a, yeah, that's a good candy apple red on the Robin part. And in person, it's more of like a dark burnt orange or even like a brownish orange color. Yeah. So, but other than that, the likenesses are great. They all articulate well.
I was about to ask, did you change your mind on Mr. Freeze? Because you weren't really sold on it.
Oh, I think it's a sick figure. I'm happy to have a Freeze. I think the biggest complaint is that people are gonna have is that he has that swirly plastic mold instead of being painted silver. Because even on the helmet, he has silver paint. So it's like, why couldn't you guys just do the silver everywhere? You know?
Yeah, because I think you were a little you had some reservations of the likeness when it was just like photos.
Yeah, it's you can see Arnold in it, but at the same time, it's not Arnold. I kind of feel like Poison Ivy is that way too. Like you can see Uma Thurman, but at the same time, it's not Uma Thurman. It's hard to explain, but they're good.
Like the sculpt is there, but the paint doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still happy with it. I'm not an inbox collector, but I love it so much that I'm tempted to get all 4 again just to have inbox too. I love this movie that much, so it's great.
You love to hear it. You also got a few more slides here. What'd you get?
So we had LA Comic-Con this past weekend, and they had Jada Toys had a booth there, so I was finally able to pick up Chester the Cheetah, which is an amazing figure. I don't remember if that came out last year, but if I would have got this, I would have definitely voted this for figure under 30 or 35, whatever that award is now. This thing is $25, and the plastic is so solid. This feels like
it almost
like
looks
an import figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like there's that matte finish.
Dude, yeah, the paint is great. It's a solid figure. The articulation is great. It comes with 2 separate heads, 2 hand swap outs. It comes with the bag of Cheetos and then the actual 1-to-1 Cheeto. So that figure is insane, man.
1-to-1 Cheeto, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oilers, Dean the Dream, how do I get a hold of you? I have something mythic for you. Dean at collectingweekly.com, I think should still work.
Yeah.
DEAN at collectingweekly.com. That's your CW email. So look at that. Then, he says, I have something mythic for you. That's very cool. What's up,
he
Sean?
wants to sleep with you, dude. I think
that's fun. At least someone has interest.
Jesus. I didn't mean for it to go down. Then we had Black Friday happen recently, and I've picked up the Carapax figure from McFarlane Toys to go with my Blue Beetles.
I like the pose.
Yeah, I didn't know what
I
else
thought it was a statue.
It's the bad guy from Blue Beetle. Sick.
Yeah, the bad guy from Blue Beetle.
How tall is this?
So he's probably he's like 2 or 3 inches taller than a regular McFarlane. So I'd probably say like 10-ish inches. I got him right here.
God damn, yeah. Because I saw somebody holding one. So there's this guy on Instagram turning these into Samus figures from Metro.
Oh, I saw that.
And they look pretty cool, but I was like, God damn, that figure looks fucking huge. It almost looked like a Play Arts Kai scale. And I was like, that
close.
figure is massive.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Tag me in that Samus post.
Let's see if I can find it.
It's pretty sick, dude. I'm glad I got it. It was on Amazon for $10 for Black Friday. So normally it's like 40, I think. So it's good for $10.
They still haven't shipped my Blue Beetle that I got for $5.
Oh man, I wonder if they took a lot of orders and they're just behind on that one. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or it got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then for Hot Toys, I caught an insane deal on the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. I was just looking at buy-sell trades, and some dude was selling them for under retail shipped. And I was like, what the hell? It was like $20 under retail. And I was like, why? You know, and it was unopened, brand new, and I didn't even guess it. I was just like, if Spider-Man hasn't sold, I'll buy it. And he was like, yeah, it hasn't sold. And I was like,
dude,
okay, sick.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. So I picked that up. I'm super happy because I missed the pre-order. I only have Toby on pre-order, so
nice.
I was glad to find that. And then also with that one, I thought I would only want to use the Spider-Man mask. I don't even think I'm going to use it. I think I'm going to keep his Garfield head on the whole time. It's really good. Like
it's
really,
a good sculpt,
really good. Yeah. And then
where's the lasagna?
Wow.
That was
and then
I got it.
From Chasen, Star Wars of the Week is Obi-Wan the Deluxe set. So I'm glad to have that figure back in the collection. So yeah,
Very
Great
cool.
figures.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Marco, what did you get?
Yeah, so really quickly, I do want to say I want to keep the algorithm strong. We haven't said Sonic yet, so I just want to make sure that I say Sonic figures.
Wow.
Had no mention yet. Yeah, so I got this. Everyone's gonna roast me on the pose. This is the Topo suit set for Bruce Wayne from The Dark Knight. So I saw Bob Dylan's post. He used a neck adapter, which is I think I'm gonna have to do because I was having a hard time getting the collar down a bit lower. But beyond that, I think it's a really beautiful suit set. I want to say it was like 120, 125-ish shipped from 1/6 kit. And then we've got a Zack's Wonderland empty cowl here. So the pose there on the left, I was pretty proud of. Like, it looks dope on my shelf. Maybe I got to strengthen my photography because I was getting roasted for it, but I thought it was a pretty dang good pose. So really, really
Hamlet,
happy
bro.
with the set.
It's the fucking Hamlet.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
I could see what you were going for here because he's out fighting crime. His back, he's got a bad back. He can't stand up straight.
It's got scoliosis.
Oh, man. And so that is the DX19 head sculpt.
What body are you using for this? Just a standard?
It comes with a body, so it's the full set that comes with the body.
Nice.
That was what was preventing me from picking up any of the suit sets before. I think the Joker bank robber set kind of comes without a body, and I was like, I don't want to have to dress an entire body. That seems like, and then I've got to go get the right one. Seemed like too much work, so this was perfect. It was so plug and play. And then Equan said, make sure to give proper credit to the pose.
I saw a bunch of goobers yelling at each other over giving pose credit.
That's
It was
right.
the goofiest shit I've ever seen.
Exactly. So you've got to not only say who you got the pose from, but the person before that, who they got the pose from as well.
It's like Ancestry.com for posing.
That's right. Exactly. So really, really happy with this set.
He wore this in The Dark Knight?
This is The Dark Knight, yeah.
So if I wanted to get this suit and put the Batman Begins cowl on it, that would be...
Bro, I'm going to send you a picture. So someone has one with the cat or the entire suit in the background, but they've got an upgraded cape and it looked crazy. Like, it looked so dope. So this is a good one for that.
Sam says, I love when Eddie's on. I know with this new this week's the show will be 30% longer.
Jesus.
That's a fact. We got Mike in the channel, so let's see. So I had a pretty...
And so Zach didn't add it because it was probably so long ago, but I also got that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Oh, my apologies.
And just want to say, no, all good. I just want to say it's a dope figure. So shout out to Pop Culture.
I meant to tell you we should do a double unboxing since both of us hadn't opened it, but you sent the picture of it open before I was like, damn it.
It was just one of those things, like when I had an opportunity, I just went for it. But yeah. It was a nice addition. Sorry, Zach, go for it, bro.
Sorry, when I was looking at the photos, I saw this Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, okay. Eddie posted 2 sets of photos, but I should have known by the pose.
Well, I hate to see
You sick son of a bitch.
That's my bad. I'll get better. So on the left here, so we tried doing Secret Santa last year, and all of 2 people were interested, and this year all of 5 people were interested. So I was like, you know what? We didn't do it last year. I missed it. It was a fun thing that we could do, and so as a part of that, I have to tell someone to get me a gift, which is kind of lame, but I like to participate. And so Rainer combined my Christmas gift with the Secret Santa gift and got me the United Cutlery Glamdering, which is fucking huge. It's so fucking
nice.
Cool. It has the same plaque system, so when I move into my next office, I'll be able to have Glamdering and then Gandalf the White Staff flanking my Gandalf shelf, and then of course the Aragorn sword there in the back to match it as well.
Which one is Glamdring? Is it the faux hammer or the goblin cleaver?
The faux hammer. The goblin cleaver, I think, is Sting. If Mark's in the chat, you can.
When you said Glamdring, I immediately thought of that.
Yeah.
Goblin that's like yelling, the faux hammer.
The faux hammer! And he fucking banishes that motherfucker to the Shadow Realm. So I thought about bringing that up on the show maybe next week. But yeah, that was a fun little post to make. I've been kind of sitting on it for a little bit, but on the right, I finally got the $100, which is now $80 Thomas Shelby from Master Replicas. This is part of Big Chief Studio liquidation. I guess Master Replicas picked up a bunch of them, so they're on like super clearance. It's like a $360 figure. You can get it for $80. I may pick up a second one. It's that good. And I really like it. The posing options that you get with the different hands and all the accessories and the different, I don't really call it head sculpt, but like the hat comes off and then you have a magnetic hairpiece. It's really well done. It's a shame that the company went out of business, but yeah, definitely glad that little saga is over, and looking forward to maybe picking up a second one. I also picked up these are from Manny. So Manny is such a sweet angel. He had found a Garfield Spider-Man while he was out on Saturday. And I was like, bro, I just ran errands for like 4 hours and I literally just got in the door. I was like, I can, if you want to drop it off, that would be dope. But if not, like, we'll figure out something else later. But he was nice enough to bring me the Spider-Man figure, which was awesome. And I had been talking to him for about a week about a cricket that his wife, Marissa, was selling. And I picked up there you go. Philip, the Orchist is the Goblin Cleaver. Thank you for that. I picked up a cricket. So if you don't know what a cricket is, I think it could be useful for what we do. There's a few projects that I have that need like either paint to be applied very specifically, and I suck at using an X-Acto knife to cut out like my own stencils. But you can also use this for like mugs and t-shirts, which we do a lot of, and then stickers as well. It's basically just a razor blade with like a smart controller that can cut out very precise shapes. So I had been wanting to mess with one of these for a while, and the deal that he gave me was super sick. So excited to learn how to use this. And I kind of both love and hate learning something new, because I hate being bad at things. So the whole first day I was just like constantly fucking things up, but I was able to get a few successful cuts out of it, and I've learned a lot in the past few days. So excited to start making a bunch of stuff. So I'm sure I'll be posting about that on Ox, and Zach's Wonderland has a new facet to the business. So
awesome. Wow. So new equipment, and my Panther base still isn't done, but that's
Jesus. Yeah, I hate to see it. And then last but not least, I just want to show this off because I was really proud of it, but I did some printing this week of the King of the Red Lions boat from Wind Waker, and it's coming together pretty well. Had a little bit of a tragedy when I put the intended figure in the boat. It was too tall, and the head was hitting the bottom of the mast right here. But it was an Android, and the heads are like way exaggerated. So I think when I use the World of Nintendo figure, it should look pretty accurate. So excited to finish this project. But I've told myself, I think Dean will be very happy about this, that I'm not touching it until we finished Dean's project and Marco's base. So they'll both get a little Christmas X Wonderland.
Here we go.
Actually, Marco's base is pretty much ready to ship. I'll probably ship it on Thursday. But
the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, the cave. Fuck you. The Cave of Wonders.
Wow.
So let's
real quick, since we were talking about Toys Wonderland, I forgot my other news this week. Or Zach's Wonderland, my bad.
What the fuck? How dare you?
Look it's right on my...
Like, do the face and then put the thing next to it so I can see if it looks good. He does look just like the chick from Andor.
Aw, you motherfucker. I quit the show.
All right, let's.
Having a boner during the show is really hard.
There you go. So, Hot Toys released the Wolverine Days of Future Past. This one is the supposedly the real leather jacket, right? The exchangeable forearms. Looks like a really great figure. But I just feel like with these things, right, now that Hot Toys is I would say in some ways facing major competition, right, for the crown of 1/6. It's the small details, I think, that are going to set these companies apart from each other. And we have another 501st Battalion error by Hot Toys. They spelled Wolverine wrong on the base, and they thought they were cheeky, and they edited it out of the blogger photos. Shout out to CT603, captured this image right? The proof is in the pudding.
Wow.
And I wonder if it's going to be one of those things where the Hong Kong batch is one way, and then the Sideshow batch is another way. Lately they've been releasing so close together. I doubt that that's going to happen. And there's been some people. You got the proto on the left, the final on the right. I don't know that these photos are great comparison. I saw Brother Cousins posted a photo. I think it was on his Instagram, and it looked okay. But I know you guys are pretty excited about it, Marco and Eddie, and I think Ben was as well. But what are we thinking about this? Is this a hit? Is this a miss? Is this a big deal to have this spelled incorrectly? I feel like it kind of is. But I'm wondering what we think about this.
I will say, I'm super biased when it comes to the base. Dean, I'll let you go, but I think that the base portion is not important at all. But I don't use bases, so I throw that data point out the window. Why'd you order it then, fool? You're talking about the deluxe?
Yeah.
Oh, because I like the pieces that it comes with. I'm going to definitely use those pieces, but when it comes to just the nameplate and stuff like that, it doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form. But what do you think,
Sure.
Dean?
Yeah, usually when I use a base, I don't use the nameplates anyway. But that being said, you are paying for it. It should be accurate. I wonder, though, Zach, you and I have been collecting for a long time, not necessarily 6 scale, just in general. Mm-hmm. Usually errors make something worth more long term. I wonder if I've never really seen that in 6 scale.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes the errors don't get corrected, so all of them have errors, and then sometimes they do. I think the 501st, there were some people that had them. It's also hard because for error stuff, you might find a Hasbro figure that's been packed and it's sealed from the factory, but there's a wrong accessory or something like that.
Yeah, or upside down.
But with Hot Toys, in I want to say there was not only was the Bat Lalian an issue, but there was another release where the nameplates were. It was the it was some trooper.
Trooper, yeah.
But the nameplate was the wrong character, something like that. And it's you can't really prove that yours was the error because you could just take and swap it around. Yeah,
because I would say sealed.
To Marco's point, this nameplate I don't think is removable. I haven't seen videos on it yet, but I think it's just built in to the circular part of the base. I don't think you can actually remove that nameplate.
Maybe. Usually they just tab in, but
possibly. TK says a small error, but they should have put out a statement as soon as it dropped that the nameplates would be fixed in one way or another. People should not have to hear from it. From Sideshow in a YouTube comment. So I didn't realize Sideshow had addressed this. Let me see if I can find that comment while you guys continue to get.
Yeah, TK 592 is not incorrect. It shouldn't have to be us telling people. That being said, the figure itself...
Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper came with the Sith Trooper. Thank you, sir.
That's right. The figure itself, I think, is pretty good. I don't have the eye for this figure, this character, right? Like Zach with his Gandalf or Vader. Zach knows that figure left, right, and bottom, I'm not like that with Wolverine. So, to me, I think this looks pretty good. I had somebody have to point out the, I don't want to say inaccuracies because it was really just maybe paint apps, on the beard. But we've seen that with the John Wicks. It's never as crisp as it needs to be.
Yeah.
It looks a little more faded, which it's facial hair. It's really hard to do one way or the other. Either it looks too painted on or not enough painted on. Yeah. It's very hard to get that right. So it's not that big of an issue because I think it still serves its purpose. I think it looks pretty good. I think they were saying his jawline is just a little too square, which I definitely see. On the photo on the right here, he looks like a blockhead.
It's Roblox.
Yeah. Roblox. Or the bad guys from Gumby, the red guys. Wow. It looks that does look kind of bad, but I don't think it's egregious compared to the one on the right. He still kind of has that face shape, just not as... that's almost like a fucking right angle, But in terms of the outfit, the tailoring, the accessories, the figure as a whole, I think it's pretty good. I think a lot of people are going to be happy overall with this. But yeah, just how much are you willing to put up with? Because like one or two things, that's one thing. Like, oh, the beard's not great, but everything else is flawless. But it's like now you got the spelling issue, the facial hair, the
Shapeless head.
sculpt. It's like how much of that are you willing to put up with spending this kind of money? So
That's the calculus, right? Like, do the positives outweigh these negatives that have been introduced?
right.
I'm still a bit concerned about the sculpt, but we're going to talk about it later. The more data that I get, the kind of better I feel about the sculpt in general. I think when you put it side by side with the proto, you do see like, man, that proto was really strong. It had aspects that really weren't delivered with this final product. But even then, it still looks like a dang good figure. Just the seamless forearms, the real leather jacket, the multiple outfits. The swapping of the outfits is definitely going to be a problem for a lot of people. I think I'm a little bit anxious about that myself on doing the pleather belt, but we're just going to see. I think Eddie will be the first one of us to get it in hand. I'm really excited to discuss more, but this is one that I definitely haven't changed my mind on. And then in terms of the base, I think you're right. It's one solid piece. I don't think I can separate the two components, which does annoy me. I wish that I could just get rid of the like kind of statuesque portions of it, because I just want something that, right, that like things that I have you make from Zach's Wonderland that just seem more like real life things. But I think there's components that I could use here. So still excited, but yeah, excited to get it in hand because I don't know how I'm going to feel about it until then.
So Sideshow did have a pinned comment on their unboxing video. It says, we've contacted Hot Toys in regards to the nameplate misspelling, and they are aware of the issue. We're working on a solution to resolve this prior to our shipment. So I don't know what the current Sideshow time frame for this is, but I wouldn't be surprised if that causes a small delay on that. But that's just speculation. So let's see here. Spider-Man, this one has not.
Wow, all right. I guess Eddie can just.
I'm sorry. I thought he did. I'm sorry. Jesus.
God damn. Marco
the other
talked
brown
for
guy.
me, but yeah.
Wow. I didn't see
So the first time I order a figure from Hong Kong, it has a misspelled nameplate. You hate to see it. I ended up picking this up because I missed the pre-order, so I picked it up from Toys Buying Agent for a great deal. But
That sucks.
I know. But to be fair, I'm not gonna get this base, so it's not gonna have the. Yeah, it's not gonna. I don't like the base. I thought that's extra money, and I don't really need that. So I don't even know what the regular base is, but I was like, I don't need the deluxe base. I don't need the Sentinel arm, so I just picked up the regular, which comes with everything else. So I'm happy with that. I was super scared and let down when I saw the blogger photos. I was like, this looks like crap, man. Like the square jaw, like the likeness, I was like, dang, it looks worse than it was initially prototyped to look. And I was scared, and then like even Ben was excited, and I was telling him, dude, I think it's gonna suck. And then Marco sent a video from MRC on Instagram of like a quick unboxing, like a Instagram reel, and the head looked 10 times better in that video, even for like a split second. So I was like, oh, it looks way better in person. I'm not going to even trip about it. So when I saw that deal pop up, I jumped on it, and then I saw MRC's review, and it looks insane to me. So I think it's just a case of pictures. I honestly think in hand it's going to be great, and I should have it in about a week. So hopefully I have it for Monday. Maybe we could do Monday unboxing. That would be cool.
Go. That would be dope. So just for the record, Eddie, I'm looking at the Sideshow photos. The normal version, which is I think what you said that you had, it's a different style base, and it is spelled correctly.
Woo-hoo.
And the deluxe version, on these photos, they've always been spelled incorrectly. So I don't recall if we missed that back then. It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't remember it
on
either.
all of these photos, it was incorrectly spelled. So there.
Did you
is
see?
that.
Did you guys see they included foam, like a foam tubing to put around his arm when he's using the other shirt, so he'll look more like his muscles will look more accurate. If you look in the blogger photos that have the Wolverine up top in the name, dude, his bicep looks really good right there. And one of the problems I have, like we've talked about this before, are the traps with Cap. Like I love when the musculature looks legit, and those forearms and that bicep, man, he looks sick, dude. I'm excited for this.
I hadn't seen that. No, that's a That's a dope little addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a simple pose like that on the right-hand side is perfect. That's really kind of all you need.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it would. I mean, it probably would stress the leather, but I think being natural leather, I feel like you'd have more options for treating that, and it should, in theory, be a little bit more durable than that pleather where the top coat rips off. And even this, it's not like a super expressive pose; it's just a slight angle. I think you could probably manage that with the leather car care products. Let's see here. So Eddie, you were absolutely right about this. We have the animated comic Spider-Man. So we are still waiting on. I know the RSVP went up on Sideshow. It's not actually gone live yet for us in America. But there's, I will say I like this more than I liked it last week, because there are some options for white or like a grayish in the eyes. I like that you have different options for with or without the web shooters. I like that you get some different eye options. You also get different, I guess like little acrylic cutouts or plastic cutouts. That was one of my big concerns, was that it wasn't really the animated 1990s Spider-Man. It was more like, maybe an Ultimate or an Amazing Spider-Man. So I like that you can switch those out. These are the different eyepieces. You get 4 of them. One is in silver chrome. The rest are like in a whitish gray. I wish they'd be a little bit more white, but it is what it is.
Well, they did the same thing with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man,
yeah.
and it just doesn't look as good as it could. So that's kind of a big bummer, honestly.
Definitely. But I will say I do like this more than I did last week. But I think it is a shame that this is a limited release. I feel like, this is a character that, while there is a similar version in the classic suit, with this one being slightly more of a fabric material and being such a dynamic character, I think it's going to be a really well-selling figure. And I wish that more people would have the option to get it. But as of now, there is an RSVP system for Sideshow. So if you are interested, you likely will have to RSVP to get it. At least that's how they did the last 2 Artisan figures.
Don't forget to RSVP.
Yeah, do not forget to RSVP. I can't say that enough. But this looks great. And, Hot Toys is experimenting with some different options with the forced perspective there. But, yeah, I would say I went from not being interested in this at all to being
a little
quite
interested.
It's piqued my interest. I've flip-flopped, or what was the word that we're using now? I don't even remember. But what do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I still don't like the silver chrome eyes. I think it just throws the whole thing off. I mean, I guess depending on the angle, it looks okay, but like they should just be white. But at least to me, that's like one of Spider-Man's like key features is the eyes. So if I don't like the eyes, like I'm already not into the figure.
How much would it cost them to just add an extra pair of white eyes? It would cost them nothing.
Cents on the dollar. That being said, objectively, as a whole, I think the figure looks really good. Like Zach said, the fabric is way more forgiving in terms of posing around and having a cool Spider-Man on the shelf. But like I said, it's not the only version of this character you could get. So the fact that it's limited doesn't really bother me. If it was the only Spider-Man, I would have an issue with it. But the first perspective thing, honestly, I could take it or leave it. I probably would never use those anyway. So it is what it is. But I did like the fact that they included the different acrylic cutouts for the Amazing Spider-Man and then the cartoon Spider-Man. That is cool because we were all confused, like, what is this? So that's cool to see. It's a Spider-Man, so a little light on accessories, technically, right? A camera and like a mini goblin and some webs, like
web shooters.
I've seen less, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, the web shooters, I honestly don't ever remember Spider-Man having big ass chrome web shooters like that.
This is the first time we're getting a hand that has the web wrapped around the hand.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that. I'll give you a point for that.
Is that actually the case? That's not just an accessory?
Yeah, no, if you look there on the bottom,
it's like
right there.
Around.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that there. Okay, I thought he meant on the left. All right, got it.
I think that's them showcasing it, Marco, on the left, but they didn't do a good job because it doesn't show it all. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think if you could track this down and get it, I think you'd be super happy with it.
So this one is still, the more that I see of it, I think the more disappointed I am, because it's cool art. It's got 3 different nameplates, swap out eyes. But when I initially saw that it was a 90s Spider-Man, I was so hyped. And then more and more, I've just become a little let down. And then you layer on that it's going to be exclusive. And I think it's just, all these exclusives so far have been a bit underwhelming, in my opinion. I think we'll maybe talk about it, another time, but they mostly are just repaints or figures that they've kind of done with a different spin on it, and nothing extremely original. And so this is just adding to that line of like, okay, it's really minimal effort, and then you make it exclusive, and then you sell it out, and it's just nothing to get me super excited. If they kind of showed me a plan like, hey, we're also going to do this Goblin, or we're also going to do, a Doc Ock or a Shocker from the 90s series, now maybe I'm hyped. But just as it is, I just can't get over the moon like I want to. I desperately want to. If they did like a Batman from the animated series, if they did 90s X-Men, I would just immediately jump after them. But this one is just, it's just making me feel a bit cold.
Arguably, though, you want an exclusive to be a repaint. I think it's a good thing that they've only done repaints and like minimal differences, because they talk about this a lot in the 112 community. Like, a lot of the exclusives are just repaints. That's mostly the case, and I think that's why they're doing it. That it's like Dean said, like, you don't want something really cool that's going to be hard to get.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are really going to get pissed.
It's like Mezco. They put the Voidwalker in an SDCC exclusive package, and I think they did hit the website at some point, but it was kind of like this, where it's quite not super easy to get. And a lot of people paying a lot of money for that now.
I do agree with you guys, though, but I guess I more mean like there's been 10 figures announced in not that long of a period of time, and that's 10 figures in their capacity that, they're doing things that aren't super exciting to me personally. That disappoints me a bit. So it's just kind of like it's taken up their capacity to do other things that would require a bit more innovation, a bit more effort. That's why I'm feeling a bit cold here.
I'm happy that they did the eyes that I thought they were going to do. I am unhappy that they are not white. I think that they shouldn't be gray. And also, I really only like the eyes on the left. I hate the eyes on the right. And I think those are the ones that are more Spider-Man animated, but they're like super bubbly. Like, I feel like they should be more into the sculpt. I feel like they protrude a lot and it throws it off. I don't know, but I'm glad they did it. I don't like it. To me, I thought it was cool that they were like doing like an ultimate Spider-Man where it was several versions in one and you could swap out parts and change it. But I think it would be better executed if you focus on one or the other to get everything right. Like, if you're going to focus on animated series so you can get it perfect, or focus on a old time comic Spidey, like a classic Spidey, and then you could get that perfect. Because I think that's where you lose it, is you try to do too many things at once and you end up losing. But I do like it.
That's a good point.
With that said, I really want it, and I hope that you could just do the thing that Collector Joey did with the vinyl on the eyes. I'm hoping that you could just do a quick fix like that to make them white, but they also they look very flat, so I don't know if you'd be able to do the same thing that he did with that. So
to that point, I think Eddie's completely right. I think with Spider-Man, like, it's a dude in a red and blue suit or like a black suit. Like, it seems simple, but like when you look at the small differences in the logos and the eye shape and the build and the web shooters, like, it gets incredibly specific. Like, even just between, the 2000 and 2004 and 2007 Spider-Man, like, I didn't realize they were different shapes, right? And I mean, even just the first few years of his creation, right? The logos are all completely different. So, yeah, I completely agree with what Eddie said. Like, pick a Spider-Man, and run with it. Don't just like mash it up. With that being said, though, I don't know that I'm that anal on Spider-Man that it's a deal breaker for me. I think I'm just excited because I remember when Lane showed us the classic suit when we gave it away last year, and I was just blown away by the looks. But the more I looked at it, I'm thinking like, gosh, this doesn't look that posable. And I had owned the advanced suit, and you could pose it, but long term, there would be potential issues with the suit sticking to itself or, puncturing itself, like just weird ways that the suit wears. And the older fabric suits, or like the more traditional fabric suits, those aren't perfect, but I think they're much more durable. So let's see, let's move on here.
But if that one is, sorry, just really quickly on the Spider-Man, if it's $320 before taxes and shipping, is everyone still hyped for it? Is everyone still in?
Yeah,
what was Artisan Anakin $465? Or the Joker was $465, or one of those was $465.
Yeah, I think the Joker was the highest one.
I would say $320 would give me cause for pause, but I think $260 I'd probably order it pretty quickly. And it's tough because you do have the black suit Spider-Man 2 figure. Like, I remember that one being very reasonably priced, and it came with way more stuff than this. In fact, let me pull that one up real quick to see what we
I kind of wish this one had like the Scarlet Witch. I wish it had a deluxe and a regular. Yeah. And that way the deluxe would sell out and the regular wouldn't. And maybe the deluxe had some of the shit that people didn't like as much, like all of the name switch outs and
it doesn't have enough to have to be considered a deluxe though. It's like a very bare bones release. It's got a few eyes and hands and that's it.
Yeah, so 305 was the price point on the Spider-Man Deluxe, and I mean you're getting the same web effects essentially. You're getting the same because this one also has the web wings as well, if I remember correctly, and then you also get the additional metallic spider legs, and I guess you're not getting like the diorama base with the mini goblin, but you're also getting a second portrait. So it's tough right now that we know like that's what they can give us for 305. Right, it would be a tough sell at 320.
Yeah,
if it's just being limited is adding that price point. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Sorry, Eddie,
from what I've seen.
No, I was just gonna say to the accessory point. I hate the plastic sheets that they give you and then count as an accessory. Like it's just a throw-in. I don't even want that. So.
The plastic what? Sorry.
Like the buildings, like all of that pop-up stuff. I hate that stuff.
Yeah, I don't like it. Let's see here. So this is the Ahsoka Captain Rex by Hot Toys. I don't think this one went up for pre-order. I'm going to double check right now. At least when I was making the show sheet.
I think it did.
It did. Okay, so let's find this 260. Thank you, Eddie. 260 releasing October 2024 to March 2025. Obviously very faithful to the look in the Ahsoka flashbacks from the television show. Sorry if that's a spoiler. You do get the options for phase 1 and phase 2, and I hope Hot Toys has made these easy to swap out. My guess would be one of these sides, or even both, are Velcro or magnets, and you'll just basically pop the torso over the head. I think that would probably be the easiest, and then obviously the helmet is a straight swap. Some people on the clone groups for custom clone stuff, they were looking at the helmet for Rex phase 1 specifically and saying that it's more cartoon stylized, the shape of it, than Hot Toys' standard phase 1 helmet. I don't have the eye for it, but there's quite a few posts on that today on some of the groups. And I didn't really realize that much differences in the leg and wrist armor. For phase 1 and phase 2, it looks like there's just a little bit more wear and like the different tally marks that he has on the legs, and then on the arms, they just look more scratched up, and the tally marks on the hands. But it's nice to see that if that is the difference, right, that they're going and adding in, entire extra parts of armor for that. So I think that is great. I do think the holsters look super goofy, though. They did look super goofy in the television show. They were fucking massive for these tiny little pistols. but that's not a fault of Hot Toys by any mean. And I know, Eddie, you mentioned this, and you had the same problem, but the weird green tinge that the first Rex had, I'm hoping that they learned from that, and from the secret base photos, I think that they did. But I think this has a chance to be a really nice figure with some quirks from the physical prop design.
Yeah, so I love Captain Rex. I have the Phase 1. I always wanted the Phase 2, but the Sideshow one was like a $600 figure, you know, forever. And then Hot Toys announced theirs. I got that one. And I was pretty happy with it until someone pointed out that he is green. I was like, oh my God. He's so green. And then they come out with this, and it's hard to argue. This is fucking badass. It's very annoying. But it's not the most egregious thing they've ever done. At least Rex came out a couple years ago. And I think he's still in stock.
Motherfucker's still on clearance, bro. They were like giving them away for fucking Black Friday.
Yeah, I fucking, you know, because everybody wanted the fucking Phase 2 one so bad that I was like, I need to get it before it sells out. And it's just been in stock ever since. So I probably won't get this, just, you know, because I already have the other Phase 2. And I'm sorry, but those holsters are goofy as shit. I don't get it. Why are they so big? Like, I've never seen that anywhere. I mean, I would consider myself a pretty competent clone collector and armor guy. I've never seen holsters like that before.
Well, that's how they are on the show, like the flashback suit.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like,
that's like the holster you need for that fucking hand cannon you got, bro.
Wow. Yeah, like these are like
fucking
tiny
Yosemite
pistols.
Sam holsters.
Why are they like the pistols are teeny tiny? What? I legit don't understand why. It's like they just like hired a guy in the 501st and that he just happened to have those goofy ass holsters.
Well, to be fair, on the official artwork for this figure, or not for this figure, but for the armor that Disney Plus did, his elbow pads were backwards as well. So,
right.
I mean, there's not, the bar's pretty low for this. Like, you got the
yeah, his fucking elbow pads are sideways.
Fucking all wongos.
Yeah, it's
his elbow pads too. Jesus, I was talking about his bicep pads.
It's fucking
being
goofy
backwards.
looking. I do like the fact that you get both Phase 1 and 2. They could have easily just been like, hey, here's Phase 1 Rex and a Phase 2 Rex. So that's cool. That's nice. The nice thing about the first Rex is you get the head sculpt. You obviously don't get one here. Preserves the first one. But I honestly, if I could go back, I would have just waited for this. I could swap out those holsters for anything. You know what I mean? Like, but to get everything else to do a Phase 1 Rex and a 2 Rex is yeah. I could just deal with the holsters. So
yeah, this one's a pretty big snoozer to me, but I'm not very offended by it because, Dean, like you said, they at least gave us the two different looks. If someone's really after a Phase 1 Rex, it's a cool look. Yeah, there's some wonky aspects to the design overall, but I think at $260, it's not one to get really too offended by, but again, it's taking up their capacity to do something cooler, even from the Ahsoka show, right? There's plenty of characters that folks really want, let alone Andor, which I know Eddie's been waiting on for a long time. So there's just other stuff they could be doing, but I get this one's easy for them. Clones are popular. This is kind of a no-brainer for them to do.
To make matters even worse, they gave it the damn sand base.
Oh gosh.
The man on the moon base.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Fucking man on the moon base.
Yeah, I think you guys covered everything that I think is good. No green Phase 1 helmet. I think I didn't even notice the holsters until you guys said something. It's like one of those glass shattering things. It's like, damn it, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, all the arguments that people make are true. It doesn't piss me off that much. Maybe I don't care. I don't know, but I think it's cool. But are they now? It makes you think: are they going to find a way to do this with all of them to get a Phase 1 helmet?
Probably.
Could be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. One thing that I would say, to Dean's point, I really wish they would have given us the portrait. You know, I understand preserving value for the original. I completely understand that, but I think they set a precedent with Cad Bane, right? We never saw Toto in the show. They gave you Toto in the box because we know what Toto looks like, and we know that, you know, they are together. We know what Rex looks like under the helmet, and they have already portrayed that in a figure. I think, to me, if they wanted to make this the ultimate Rex, they should have done it. You know, the figure's been out for 2 years. It's a clearance rack figure, you know, even before this was announced. Anyone that has wanted it has already gotten it. But I think if you're going to make a Rex, give it all these armor swap outs, I think it's just a bit odd to not just go and give it the full Monty and give it a portrait. You know, maybe you could have gone with a different expression, something like that. But I think that Hot Toys showing us that it doesn't need to be, you know, shown on screen to be included in the box, I think is a very interesting precedent. And I would have liked to see that packed in on this figure. So
You guys know Sideshow's still going to give us a Rex, too. And they're going to give us an old man Rex. They're going to give us all the Rexes, man.
It's a popular character.
He is popular. Let's see. What do we got here? So we got some photos of the... Marco, remind me, where was this display at?
Okay, so excuse my ignorance, but I want to say this was a pop-up that's in Korea, and I can look for the name of the show, but
sure,
yeah, this is just a pop-up that Hot Toys is doing.
Yeah, so these are, let's see, it says Loco Jung, so shout out to Loco Jung. But these are the photos of this pop-up event of the Artisan Anakin and of the Artisan Joker, and I think what Marco has said many moons ago, I think holds true. You have to control the messaging. You have to, now more than ever, whenever you show these things, they have to be futs. They have to look as good as they can look in today's day and age. And, you know, especially when you got, you know, J&D potentially right around the corner teasing a Joker. You got Inart already released the Joker. You can't show them looking like this. And I think the portrait is fine on the Anakin. I think the robes look a hot mess. I think the hair looks a hot mess. And the Joker, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this Joker, but it looks terrible. Mark Pearson said it looks like they furiously had sex together and then went on display, which I thought was funny. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but these motherfuckers look disheveled. It's the best way I can say it. Got bamboozled.
I mean, yeah, pop-up or not, like, how do you put this out there and feel like, yeah, people are going to like this? You know what I mean?
Really,
like,
just popped up Molly, bro.
Do you have no pride in your product? Like,
Dean, it comes across as arrogance, though, right? It's like, we're top dog. We can put out whatever shit we want to, and you're still going to buy it. You've already bought it. In fact, it's already sold out.
Yeah, that's you're
a good
not
point,
wrong.
Marco.
That's what it feels like. Like, I mean, at least with Inart, they fucking, even if their Batman falls over, it looks good while doing it. You know what I mean? Like, these are just not...
individual little strands for the...
I love that clip so much. But yeah, like this, I mean, the Joker alone, maybe Anakin, because you have nothing to compare it to, maybe you could get away with Anakin looking a little disheveled. But the Joker, when you have the inner already in people's fucking homes, absolutely not. This is egregious. It's so bad.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Yeah, it's not like, not even the hair. I mean, the hair.
No
alone
part
is
of
bad.
this looks good.
Nothing about this looks good. The pose is janky as shit.
He's
What
got like
is he
the
doing with
knife
his hands?
twirled in his hand.
Like,
he's got the card in the wrong hand, probably.
It's not. It's bad. All of it is bad.
Yeah, these pictures made me pretty upset. So I do have the Anakin on pre-order, and I was concerned. Right, the first shot we saw was terrible, much like this. This is arguably worse than what we saw initially. But then, you know, they put out their own official photos. It looked great, and then to go back to revert to this, I think it's inexcusable because you're trying to launch this line. You're trying to launch an Artisan line. How could we ever have faith, unless I'm a professional hairdresser? Like, I don't want to get this and then everyone to be like, well, you just got to futz it. This needs a lot of fucking work. There's no way that I'm going to be able to futz it to make it look good enough. This is horrendous. Like, this is just so bad. Hot Toys should pull these down immediately. They should put up, I don't know what they could do to control the message at this point, but this is just, inexcusable. But again, it comes across as arrogant because they've already sold out this line. Jesus.
You hate to see it, Batman.
This one on the right is like, 2 tickets to Barbie, please.
Yeah, no joke.
The Joker looks like Beetlejuice. Even the pose looks like Beetlejuice.
As a matter of fact.
It really does.
That sucks, man. I think, I don't know. I'm hoping it's just the futzing. I'm hoping that they didn't have the heads
Oh,
wrapped.
I'm sure it is, but you gotta. I mean, Eddie, they're not in the fucking Sahara. You're at a mall. Get a comb, get some water, fix the shit. You can't just.
What if this picture was taken as they were setting up and it got leaked from there?
It could. You're Eddie. I'm not saying that's what it is, but
yeah, I'm gonna try.
I don't know that I give them the benefit of the doubt, though, right?
I know. Yeah, they always look.
If only there was like a technology, like a sheet that you could put over it until it's ready.
This is worse than when we saw him the first time and people were scared. So it's like, dude, what the hell, man? I don't know.
It's like irredeemably worse, though. Eddie, look at the photo on the left.
I'm not a lesbian, dude. Stop.
I keep getting confused. Come on.
God.
That one on the left, though, it's like it's unredeemable, right?
He even looks like he just woke up. He's dizzy. He put his hand. He got out of
Fern. Wait, did y'all see the picture that Fern put up on Ox? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see here.
He's trying to turn off his alarm. He's like,
He's trying to find the light switch.
Here we go. Yeah. When you wake up in the middle of the night to take a piss and you're trying to find the light switch on the dark.
Yeah. You hate to see. He should have put in the dark side. Oh. That sucks.
There you go. Kit Chen from 16 Kit said, we just heard from Inart team we're a tripling production team next year. We'll be faster. So looks like we can look forward to 5 figures next year instead of 4. So really excited for that.
I think we only got 2 last year.
Look at Sean's comment.
After a night out killing younglings. I do like that they want to increase production. I think the concern that I have that many people had as well is, increasing production is one thing, but you also have to increase every part of that production. You have to increase quality control, logistics, shipping, packaging. Every part has to be tripled. So I don't want them to sacrifice this quality, which at this point, with 3, I think they've released 3 figures, multiple versions of Joker, Pennywise, and Gandalf, has all been quite high. I don't want to sacrifice that quality control in the sake of pushing shit out the door. So, I think it's an interesting thing. I don't know if I want them to still only be releasing 3 or 4 figures a year, but apparently they're going to be tripling production next year. So, Dean, do you think this is a positive or negative? Do you want to stay the same?
Yeah, kind of what you said, if you're trying to move your production schedule further along, it'd be nice if you could do that without cutting any corners. But I mean, if you're tripling your production team to do that, how much, I guess, training are they getting to do it properly, right? Or are you just throwing people on the assembly line and saying, put these figures in a box and get it out the fucking door? You know what I mean? So you would like it to the quality and control to stay the same and them all be faster, but is that going to happen? I guess, it remains to be seen. Because it would take a long time for someone to get trained properly to do the work consistently well, right? So, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough.
I see this as a big positive, honestly. Their current business model isn't sustainable. They're not getting stuff out quick enough. The batches have been way too slow, especially on the Gandalf. I mean, but you see the secondary prices, so there is that big demand. So hopefully that means that they understand that their product is desired and they just need to add more team to get it out the door. So this definitely doesn't seem like a bad thing unless we see prices kind of skyrocket, which I don't anticipate. This can only be a positive in my eyes.
I don't see how they're not getting stuff out quick enough. They've barely announced them and they're already out. They're faster than Hot Toys and way better. They barely announced stuff.
But Hot Toys is putting out multiple figures a year. Go ahead, Zach.
If you go from solicitation to when the first one shipped, how long was it?
So I would counterpoint to that. First, the Gandalf, I think it was 13 to 14 months. Which is pretty good, admittedly. But I will say, when I say that, keep in mind, Eddie, you're talking like less than 10% are released. It seems like when Hot Toys is releasing, it's like the Hong Kong batch, and then at some point the Sideshow batch. But it's not like only 5% of the Hong Kong batch and 5% of the American batch, and then another 5% and another 5%. It seems like the batches that Hot Toys ships, I mean, I don't know the percentage, but it seems like they're larger, right? I know that with Big Bretta, he says, there's the day one batch, there's other batches you can get at Secret Base, at least when I talked to him in the past. But with Inart, it's like trickle. It just trickles in.
I understand that they're not fully released now, but
yeah, because I wouldn't even really say Gandalf is fully released.
I mean, they're finishing Joker right now, but they're still the quality is still worth that time.
I would agree.
We're waiting on Hot Toys on some things like 2+ years.
Yeah, 3 years on some.
So it's like, I think it's more a case of us seeing it on everybody's YouTube channel and being impatient.
Well, to be fair, they also set that expectation, right? We would, I would have had no problem if they said, "Hey, we're making an Inart Gandalf. We are, it's going to take 2 years." I don't think anyone would have bat an eye, right? But when you're telling us nothing's going to be delayed, it's coming out, in 3/4 of a year. I think, and you miss those deadlines several times. I think people get impatient. So
I'm scared. I'm just scared that if they triple the production team, they will go down in quality.
That's where I'm at, Eddie.
They're already canceling. I saw they canceled another statue, the Gray Hulk statue that they were going to do. They canceled. So that's
Queen though.
That is this though. They like to say that Inart's different.
Supposedly they say that they're separate, right? But I don't know.
Well, then why does John do both?
I don't know.
I don't agree. I don't know. I'm
with you, Eddie.
Fine with the time. I'm fine with everything right now. I know that if tripling production is just a means of handling the amount of orders, because from Joker to whatever they put up for order next year, with everything that we've seen, more people will be interested and the amount of orders will go up. So if they're tripling production to handle the orders, that's fine. I just don't want them to push shit out. So,
and I think that's why they're adding people, right? Like you could only toggle certain things, right? Like more time, more money, right? Or quicker, cheaper, right? So there's certain toggles you can pull. They're obviously investing in the team, so then they could hopefully speed things up. I get what you're saying about the quality, but right now the way that they're releasing things, it's not fast enough. It isn't. Like they haven't gotten enough stuff out.
Lane, you are 100% wrong. I don't know if you have any Inart figures, but yes, it is. It is a steep difference. I don't feel I'm being biased at all there. I love both, but I could put my Joker next to Hot Toys Joker, and you just seen Hot Toys best Joker on screen, bro.
I agree with Eddie. Again, my sample size with Inart is one figure. I know I only have like 7 or 8 Hot Toys, but I've owned probably about 100 since 2017, 2018. I buy and sell a lot. And the Inart, it felt special. It felt like, minus like some very small nitpicks with like packaging and I don't like having to rip things up. It is like really the next level. right?
But also, you're in the first
wild.
the first 10% that got it. What if you got yours 6 months from now? Would you start feeling like shit? This is not really acceptable, right? Like there's a difference here. You got it this year. Plenty of folks are going to get it well into
I don't
next
think
year.
it would be a worse figure though, in terms of the actual unboxing experience. What I'm talking about purely is the quality. Sorry, that's what I thought we were talking about. The quality of what I opened versus any Hot Toys I've ever opened. This just felt fucking a step above. Sure, if it was late, I would absolutely I would have been upset. I would have been like, man, this company's got this shit out the door. Shit's taking too long. Even for me, this is just speculation, but I feel like Kit got their batches earlier than TNS. I don't know if that's true or not. I was one of the first people to pay at TNS and to secure my figure. But I think it was about a month or so, you know, a lot of other streamers had gotten theirs, and I was pretty frustrated. But you're right? I could be waiting till March of next year to get mine, or there are people that will be waiting.
There's still people who just got their Jokers like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure.
But even
so apologies for,
but purely I'm talking about just the quality.
Quality,
like,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but you're right, Marco. I would have been upset. I would have felt like they could have released it sooner, one way or another. Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be that guy. That's just you being a crybaby collector.
Me?
That it is. No, I'm saying like if you're crying that you got it 6 months later, but it was still under 2 years, bro, you got it.
And you also have to take into account, Eddie, like when people order, because there's people that are in, you know, because TNS you can kind of see when people order with the way that they do the numbering system. With Kit, you're just going off of the invoice numbers, but you know there are a lot of people that want to jump, or you know, that ordered last minute, right? And then obviously the way they do it is you're going to get it later if you ordered later, right? That's just, you know, outside of being a streamer, which we didn't get any special consideration for that. But yeah, it also takes into account when you ordered it and where you are in those batches. So definitely keep that in mind. Lane says Kojin posted up their first preview video. It shows some of their Joker. It seems it's doing their first Kojin Korean horror movie, thinking Ledger Joker, putting you guys in the head sculpt. So yeah, let's see here. That's the next thing that we're talking about, the J&D teases. So we got to see the Al Pacino. I think this is from Heat, if I'm not mistaken. I think it looks excellent. I don't personally think... I want to see these are silicone from what it looked like in the video. I just don't know how well that's going to age over time. I also don't know if the cost would be something in my budget. I think I was pushing it with the $530 Gandalf. Don't really know that I can swing that for too many characters. In the video, they did show a back silhouette of the Joker, but the first figure they showed on screen was this Al Pacino. So no idea what is coming with that, but apparently we're going to get more details soon.
Al Pacino, I love a pussy. Anyway, yeah, I'm also concerned about how much of, because obviously we're looking at this Al Pacino and it's totally seamless, right? From the forehead down to the chest area, it's seamless. How much of the sculpt is silicone, and how is paint going to stick to that? Like, if you rub it with your finger, does it come off right away? We've seen that happen on, you know, some, you know, lesser third-party figures, like with like tattoos and stuff. I don't know if...
So there, to that point on After Dark when we were talking about it, there are ways, I think it was Oilers that had mentioned it.
Like a tattoo?
There are ways that you can paint silicone, but that is permanent. It's just not like, yeah. I think I want to say it was like some oil-based products that he was saying, or even like mixing silicone into the paint. There are ways to do it, right? Obviously, you know, Hollywood props, a lot of them are made of silicone that they obviously withstand some level of handling.
Yeah.
I do think it sounds like you're going to have to baby it though, regardless, right? Silicone is...
Yeah, you, like, put it in your collection once and then never touch it again.
Pause?
Wait, what did you say?
It was the Jobby the Hong. You know, he said, put it in my ass.
You got a great ass.
Toybot says this is an older figure, which I think Marco, you had mentioned it was possibly, but this is what they showed us in the video.
Old. Yeah, I remember this video circulating. They were at like some convention, pretty much the exact same setup. They had a bunch of head sculpts on the wall, and they had a bunch of figures. They were showing off the seamlessness, and yeah, it was like Zach, when you and I kind of first started hanging out, we started seeing this kind of technology popping up. So seeing it again, it's like, I guess I think this is going to be so wildly expensive that
yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. But
Yeah,
also, I feel like J&D, they make good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like when I see people spend a lot of money, and then some of the stuff, I think like the third scale stuff that I've seen, at least, you know, I can count on one hand how many have looked poorly. But I just don't feel like they're all hits, and you know that's third scale, so they gotta scale it down, you know, many scales. So the level of specificity that Hot Toys collectors are compared to, I think, most statue collectors. I don't mean this in like a bad way, but I feel like when the vibe I got from John was like, bro, 6 scale is like a whole different animal compared to anything we've done with statues. Like the level of, like how anal we are as 6 scale collectors, like yeah, it's pretty bad. So I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know that's really necessity, to be honest.
Yeah, Zach.
To get this high end stuff personally.
So I've kind of already got a bad taste in my mouth with this brand for what you described. Number one, that
and actually there's a video that's just 49 minutes ago.
Okay.
From J&D with the Joker. So let's pull that up.
Live react.
Sorry,
but
go
in
ahead.
Terms
oh, great. We get to talk about the fucking Joker again.
Oh, yeah. But in terms of what I've seen for like the really high-end stuff, like you said, the 1/3 stuff where the prototype and then the final version doesn't necessarily look as strong as what they advertised. And then also, I forget, I keep not pronouncing who it is properly, but is it their CEO that's kind of out there making these videos? Basically saying if you're not a fan of J&D, you shouldn't criticize. Like, you don't know, right? This kind of gatekeeping, and then you compound that with the price that these are likely going to be at, and I've already kind of got this eerie feeling about this, and so I don't know. I'm just very tentative to get excited by these. Although this does look really cool. Like that's dope. That's crazy right there. So
I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. Like, I like the Al Pacino. This looks creepy to me. It's kind of like makes my spine tingle. But I want as like lifelike as I can. But also, I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for one figure. I can't do that because otherwise, it's like, why did I get out of collecting Prime 1 statues? I mean, yeah, the space will be easier with this. Maybe if it was like my number one, like if it was Thor, maybe like a Chris Hemsworth Thor, like the best version of it, like Infinity War or something, maybe I'd justify paying $1,000 and like that's my Thor. But dude, I can't eat, no matter how good it is. I don't think I could pay $1,000 for one figure, man.
But I worry about the longevity of this kind of stuff, right?
The only thing that I've seen from statues with this material is the skin sweating or having like a powdery residue. Those are the only two issues I've ever seen. I haven't seen cracking, but that's because it's a statue and you don't pose a statue. So with more posing on the neck, maybe there'll be more cracking. With moving around the wrists, maybe that would be an issue. But
why do you need that level of articulation when the collar's this high, though? I do wonder.
Because some of us pose good.
Wow. Oh, not you for sure, but definitely come see me.
What did he say?
Pose off, baby. Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks sick. Also, I don't need another Joker though.
Also this.
Let them fight.
Oh, that's a good clip for today.
That is a good clip for today. I mean, it's cool. I don't know how this is like. I just thought that I'm surprised I didn't see this in any of the groups because this was almost an hour ago. I guess we were started by then, but I don't know. Like, one thing I will say, these hands, the fingers pose really goofy. Like, just I get it, but they just look kind of silly. The wrist looks great, but the fingers, I saw like a high-end customizer post their own sort of type of thing like this, and they looked fucking goofy. Look like he was throwing up gang signs.
You can make him do the rocker. You can make him do the
spocker.
shocker.
And you can make him do the spocker.
Wow. That's
So,
what Ben
so
does.
again, obviously we showed the old coach and stuff, but that's what they showed us last week. So, this is what they showed us today.
Like how they
I'm just-
blurred it out.
It's like motherfucker, we
okay.
saw it, bro. I seen it. I mean, they didn't really do a good job blurring. You can fucking see everything on this fucking figure already.
So, Eddie, since you're the statue guy, what's J&D's release times normally for their 1/3 scale statue? Are they known for being quick? Are they kind of...
They're pretty quick. They're average. It's like, well, I don't know, man. You're over here rushing Inart when they're
like
quick
30
as hell. So
seconds,
I don't know
40
what average
seconds.
is. Yeah.
Do they release them
I heard
one at a
20
time like
seconds is
Inart? Or...
average.
One at a time. It's anywhere between a year and 2 years. They release on schedule. They don't usually have a lot of wait. So.
Okay, interesting. That could be a selling point if they're able to deliver. Like Zach said, Inart did say we're not going to have these delays, and yet here we are.
Yeah, a long way around to get to that point, but let's move on. I feel like the J&D stuff was a nothing burger till we hit that video. Mars Toys gave us a first look at the 66 Penguin. Most people liked it. A few people hated it. Mars Toys did respond that they understand that more work is needed on the portrait, which I think is fantastic. I think you have a company, regardless of the morality of unlicensed figures or past potential recasts, I think they're on their way. I think, if there ever was a third-party company that, I could see one day going legitimate, like Hot Toys, I think Mars Toys, would be my favorite to do that. I think the customer service is excellent. They've made mistakes in the past. They've addressed those mistakes very quickly. They showed us this. I don't have the eye for it. I thought it looked good. People showed me screenshots. It didn't look so good. And they're going to address it as well. So, yeah, I think Mars Toys, top of the third party at the moment for me. I think they're doing great stuff. And, would love to see them make more than just DC, because I don't really collect any of this 66 Batman stuff. But great to see a company put something out and immediately be able to take criticism instead of, kind of putting it on the consumer as not being willing to accept a certain level of quality.
Yeah, I don't have the trained eye for the 66 Batman stuff. Like Zach said, I don't collect it, but what they did with the Joker or what do they call him? The prank villain. I have no doubt that this will wind up being a pretty good figure. So just looking at it, I think it looks great. I don't have the eye for it. So if people say it's not good, I lean to them for their expertise, but yeah.
Yeah, this is honestly for a third party. Mars Toys keeps delivering really, really strong prototypes. So one to get excited over. That prank villain was not one that I ever thought I would get, but it just came out so beautifully. I had to snag it. And this one feels like it's kind of in that territory where, it's a Batman villain. It's something that I grew up on, but I don't necessarily have like a huge attachment to. That I could see this one turning out fantastic. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on it, and we'll see what type of updates they give us.
Yeah, my only thing with Mars Toys is that they're not doing enough of, like Zach said, what I want. Like, I have stuff on order, but it's cool to see that they're focusing on 66, because I think there's a huge fan base for that you don't see anywhere else in any other company making figures anyway. So that's really cool. I'm being selfish. I want more stuff.
There you go. There you go. So speaking of DC, and we'll start blowing through this pretty quickly. The Dark Hero 1/6 collectible figure by S Hero has been shown. This is I believe it's the Batman The New Adventure. So this isn't Batman the Animated Series, though S Hero did say that they do plan on making a animated series Batman figure. So might have to pick up both, to be honest. But you get a bunch of different mouth plates and a bunch of different cowls. And with those accessories, including the rebreather and the goggles, you can potentially make 14 combinations not including the unmasked portrait, which I think is fucking fantastic. You do get the pre-posed gloves, which again I think is fantastic. Not having to see really any joints, I think is great. The one thing from the Superman that perhaps I would have liked to have seen with this was the boots that were pre-posed. I do think Batman is a character often in the air, so having him only with 1 foot option and probably no articulation is a bit odd. But it looks great. You do get the little cowl, overhang piece for the back of the neck, which I think is really good. And yeah, this is definitely going to be something that I'm gonna have to take a look at, because I think this looks fucking awesome.
So this is a different company from the Superman?
Same company.
It's the same company.
Okay, because I was like, we just saw that Superman last week, and I feel like the turnaround for this was like, why'd you even wait to tease it?
Yeah, they said last week that they were going to show us Batman stuff, so
okay.
Yeah, they kept to their word at least.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it looks great. I like the Superman a lot, so this kind of, obviously in the same vein, so I know a lot of people love those cartoons and that style of comic book character. So this is cool to see. It's not who is that, Mondo, who's already done this Batman?
Yeah.
But to have both Superman and Batman coming is pretty cool. So I like these. The 14 different combinations, not including the unmasked sculpt, pretty cool. I like that a lot. That's kind of a how do you say that? Like you absolutely didn't have to go that hard, and you
overkill.
Did. Yeah, look what we did. It's like, oh shit,
like,
okay.
bro, that's a fucking flex and a half to show you.
Yeah, there you go. Flex, thank you. Like, god damn, okay.
So Zio, we don't have the price point exactly, but the Superman was 186, so I would imagine probably sub 200. And Sunnyvale, they did mention, I didn't see where they mentioned it, but a lot of people were commenting that this should have been the animated series, and that the company had responded saying they would do the classic Batman the Animated Series.
That's really what I'm most interested in, as I mentioned earlier in the show, is the more classic animated series look, because that's what I was looking to for this, and I was like, it's just kind of falling short. Like, I appreciate someone trying to tackle this style, but this is not exactly what I would want in this version of a figure. So I'll keep my eye out for future releases, but at least they're trying to tackle something different.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm worried about, or what my concern would be, is the feet. Like you said, like, I don't like that they're pre-posed, and if they are pre-posed, they need to give you as much feet as they do the gloves or the gauntlets, because there's a lot of different angles you need to have for him to stand if you're doing different poses. So it's like, I don't love that. So
yeah, definitely. And we'll keep you guys updated on this one as it goes. And we did have two different what is Morpheus figures. This one's by Present Toys.
If it's two of them, is it Morphe-I?
Wow.
Sage Mentor. Looking
Morpho.
pretty good. Morpho. Looking pretty good there by Present Toys. They also teased the Trinity and the Neo. I was going to say Keanu coming soon. And by the Fishbone Toys. They also showed theirs called the Hacker, which I don't like the portrait, but with the glasses, I kind of do. It's kind of...
Tell me on the right there, that isn't Danny Lee. Holy
bro,
shit.
Stop it.
How dare you?
Holy shit. Dude, that's crazy.
Bro,
I
you
was
just add
say
it.
something so controversial.
I was
so
about
brave.
to say.
You just add the lump and it's spot on, bro.
Bro had the little thing on his noggin, and that's
Got the lump? What the fuck is wrong with you?
He got a little lump on his noggin.
God damn.
Eddie, find these photos and see if there's a better, picture of this without the sword.
There
please.
isn't.
There isn't.
I sent you the best one showing his
Danny,
face.
add the philo lump.
I was about to say that.
Bro, I can't get over this.
So let's see. The price on the Present Toys is $168. The price on the Fishbone Toys is $208. They're both
One of them said oxidized like material or like oxidize on the material to make it last longer. I don't think they come with leather jackets, but one of them did say something that will make it last longer if it's pleather. That's what I'm trying to look up right now.
Put nut on it.
Wow.
One of them comes with the chair is what, the Fishbone toys. But if you guys don't have anything to say about it, we can move on because we are...
The present, real quick, the
running out of
present
time.
toys says made of anti-oxidation material to significantly extend the lifespan of the coat. So I don't know what that means. Like
I would be interested if someone had two of the jackets and how they weared differently if you treated it and then not treated it. I'd be
I
interested in that.
think there are things I like about both. Because, sorry, I wanted to talk about it because there's not a good Morpheus, but there are things I like about both. I think I might have
There's
to
still
get
not a good Morpheus.
together.
Wow.
But together they might
make an amalgam figure.
Yeah.
Just give me, if you don't use the Danny Lee head, let me have it.
Was it Present Toys who teased the line?
They both did.
Yeah, they both did. So
Fishbone
Toys
just teased more.
Yeah, they teased.
Oh, Fishbone teased all this. Okay,
This is
I
the
was
Black
gonna
Eyed Peas
say
on the
this
right.
because the other day I forgot what we were talking about, but somebody was like, "I can't wait for somebody to do a Trinity so I could have it go with my Hot Toys Neo." And it made me think, like, this is such a fucking popular franchise. It's shocking that we only have a Neo from anybody. I think there's a third-party Trinity and there's a third-party Morpheus. Now we're getting two more third-party Morpheuses. But, like, I mean, there's so many fucking characters you could do from this franchise of movies. It's bananas. We don't have any yet. So it's nice to see somebody doing something.
But how popular would the line be, right? Like if they made all the cast of Matrix 1, do you think that, well, not just Eddie, but do you think that would be worth a company's time to do?
Yes.
Because I feel like Matrix 1 is like the movie. Like if you're going to make the cast.
Actually,
Yeah, like
I think
Tank,
Matrix
Dozer,
2 is crazy. The fact that they're
Matrix 2
making
is
those
one of my
twins,
favorites.
I think those twins are going to sell.
Yeah.
You know who they need to make my favorite character? Let's
Monica
see,
Bellucci.
Not like this.
Yeah, where's my
Not like
damn
this.
someone, there we go.
Not like this. Not like this.
Dude,
They
for
make
real,
that
that
character
whole
they want.
the whole crew from what's the ship called? The
Nebuchadnezzar.
That's like a fucking iconic crew of people.
Just
like
no
you-
Jada Pinkett, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah. She's washed. I will say
G.I. Jane
probably the
custom.
new.
keep my
I still
watch
haven't-
figure out your fucking shelf.
You think the figure has alopecia?
Wow.
She'll be bald though.
The new
Bald as
the
life.
new movie probably killed like any momentum with this franchise though, right? If that was really popular, you probably would have seen everyone going back.
Bro,
in
Yeah, but
movie.
that movie sucks.
I
Like,
tried to
the
like.
other ones are still good.
I tried to like the new movie so bad. Like I tried to make it work. It was. I couldn't do it.
Bro, the fact that they
Just sitting
didn't
there
get Lawrence
forcing
Fishburne is like, if you're gonna have Morpheus in the fucking movie, I know canonically he's dead, but like then don't have Morpheus in the movie.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
Pick a new thing, pick a new guy.
I was hopeful
Call him
because I
Sage
like that
Mentor.
actor, but
Wow, Sage Mentor.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm glad someone's doing this because the people love the Matrix. I mean, it's a fucking billion-dollar franchise anyway, so it's like the fact that no one's done it is kind of bizarre to me.
This looks like a sick ass video game
Jesus,
cover.
Eddie.
he said it.
Wow. Holy.
What did he? Where did he say anything?
He said the transcendent, the transcender.
No, those are the. Never mind. Move on. We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, let's move on.
Never mind. Collector Zone. So we want to shout out Collector Zone for believing in us and allowing us to be affiliates of their wonderful website. They have far more professionalism than we could ever have on this show. And we want to remind you guys, if you have anything that you see on their website that's in stock or pre-orders, if you pay it in full and use code CW, again, CW, you get 15% off your full order. You can use that code as many times as you like. And save some money, gives us a small kickback, and we put that towards StreamYard, stickers, all kinds of things, and helps keep the lights on. So appreciate Marcos and the team for all they do for us and the other streamers. They just donated a blur to Marco's 2,000 subscriber stream, which if you haven't watched it, you should check it out. Well deserved. Well deserved. And they're great people. They do a lot of great stuff for charity, and it's a good business to support, I think. And yeah, so shout out to Marcos.
Marcos
for
a charity now? Wow.
He's always been charity.
So let's see here. Our good friend.
Look how disappointed he is with that. Oh no.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I misunderstood what you guys were saying.
What was he saying?
I'm confused still. I was trying to read these tiny ass words, and last time Joey did one of these, it led to a lot of misinformation. So I don't know where we're pulling it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people bitching and moaning is what it led to. Fucking
this community never.
Bro, this community is the worst. You do a pose and you get yelled at for not crediting the poser. You do anything and you can't. You know, this I've made graphics like this. It does take an amount of time. It's not like you just whip this up quickly. So don't complain. Don't be a fucking idiot, to be honest, because that's, you know, people out there do stuff like this for the benefit of everybody, and he's getting nothing from this. So Paul says $20 for that alopecia joke. So that's
Paul's a fucking sweet angel. I love Paul, dude.
So getting back to the graphic, this is the scheduled to release December 2023 with the disclaimer that is according to Sideshow as of 12/5/23, with the second disclaimer that is all figures subject to delays. This is such a well-made graphic. So these are the figures.
Shout out Joey, dude.
Joey's such a fucking angel. I love Joey so much.
Good work, Joey.
We have, and he even put the dates, because I had Dean go and find the dates last time. Which, Dean, thank you so much. I had a billion things on my plate that day. But Joey, I meant to tell you should do it for the next graphic. I don't know if you heard that on our show, but it is very helpful to have this here.
I like how like you highlighted. He said scheduled. And then with red underline, all figures subject to delay, you dumb motherfuckers, is what he said.
Right, but then they're gonna fucking go for Joey.
I already saw the complaints. Well, it doesn't. You should use Hot Toys' website for the release dates if you want more accuracy. It's like, bro, I don't live in Hong Kong, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like also you go do that. Suck my fucking dick and balls.
Jesus.
And you go do that. If you don't like my fucking. If you don't like the thing I posted, don't look at it. Go away.
It's true. Facts.
There you go.
Suck my sack from the back.
Wow. Jesus. So,
does anybody have any of these?
Well, hang on. Let me get to them. We have the people that listen. The Toby Spiderman, December to March. The Dwayne The Rock Johnson, December to March. Scarlet Witch, December 2023. Morpheus, December 2023. Goblin.
You said Morpheus, and I get it, but
Morbius. Sorry, Goblin and the ATRT, December to March. December to January, we have Catwoman. We have Dead Strange, December 2023. Clone Trooper 501st from Ahsoka, December to March. Or what is this from Mandalorian? Right, the flashback. Both the Batman and the Bat Cycle, December 2023. We have the Tyler from Future War, I think is what it was, December 2023. Buzz Lightyear, December to January. Valkyrie, December to March. Paz Vizsla, which apparently has started shipping from Sideshow. I haven't seen anyone confirm that, but I've seen some people mention it. December to January. Thor, December to March. Riva, December to March. And Mighty Thor, December to March. Shout out again to Collector Joey for putting this together. And it's just a lot of work. A lot of work, my friend.
Oh my god. I'm glad we have a fucking mute button. Holy shit. Why? Dude, I was fucking crying laughing. My eyes are still wet. I put in the private chat. Yeah, this is a lot of fucking figures. I have to go back and watch
you laughing. I didn't even notice.
Bro, I thought you were going to stop and say something because I could not stop laughing. This is a lot of figures to be coming out in the next month. Or several, right? December to March, right? That being said, it'd be cool if they did come out. Unless you pre-ordered all these, you're kind of fucked. But I'm actually the most excited, no bullshit, for Buzz Lightyear. I think I might pick that up.
Double wow.
We got a $2 super chat from Big Dog Pound 1. J&D is about to kill Inart.
Well, you think so? I don't know, dude. I think it's a totally different price point. I think...
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Yeah, it's like that jump from Hot Toys to Inart and then Inart to J&D. It's like probably an even bigger gap, right? Because like Hot Toys Hong Kong prices are not that bad. Maybe like what, Zach? $200 ish?
180 to like
180 to 200, and then Inart Hong Kong prices are 300. Like even on the low end. Or how cheap did we get the Superman down to? It was still over 3, wasn't it?
I want to say it was 325.
325.
Yeah, somewhere in that range, 315.
So I feel
but of that, there was like $40 shipping.
Yeah, and then I think the J&D is going to be, even more than that. So we'll see. I mean, it's a buyer. Well, I don't know if it's a buyer's market, but
there's no way.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there is a way. Yeah.
This is a lot of figures. I kind of want the Batman as well. What the fuck are those? Oh, the Future Warriors? Yeah.
Wow.
You thought they were troopers for a second, huh?
I didn't know what they were. They almost looked like, do you remember that RoboCop remake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it looked like from here, but...
No doubt.
But all the cool Dead Strange figures, that's cool. Goblin, a lot of people waiting for that. A couple troopers. Not a lot of Star Wars on this list.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty safe overall from this wave, right? So with the caveat, so I'm getting Toby for sure, and then the Spider-Man all-in set and the Bat Cycle, but nothing else really planned beyond that. Dean, I'm with you. The Buzz Lightyear is pretty sick. I do like the Goblin for sure. I like Goblin. And Scarlet Witch perhaps, but I think with the other version coming out... Come on, no.
I was reading the private chat.
I was waiting.
What did he say?
There you go.
I was letting you guys have it. Now
It was just an
You
alley-oop.
should have said pause.
I was Dwayne Wade. So all that being said, I wish Joey kind of mentioned that, this could change, right? I wish they had some mention of it on this slide. No, but in all seriousness, Hot Toys is probably going to push up some figures, push back some figures. So we make our best plans based on the info we have, and then things are undoubtedly going to change. But if it stays relatively within these brackets, I think I've got a little breathing period. But, in this hobby, it's just hard to plan.
Bro, he even put the angled shadow for the text, bro. That's
What a pro.
pretty good, Joey. I'm impressed. If I could offer one critique, I would pick your logo up from the bottom right and put it right here, so it's
In
Hot
the
Toys
middle.
and Collector Joey. I think that would be what I would put personally. But man, he did put a lot of work in this. Now that I'm looking at it, it's got the fucking gold gradient. I'm as someone that makes a lot of graphics, I am impressed.
Yeah. Zach's like, can you teach my small talk guys?
Wow! How dare
Zach should be asking to teach him.
Jesus. What the fuck? What? Okay, Dean, you make the graphics from now on.
Wow!
Well, I've made a couple.
It's for the throat. No one's safe. The only two that I have, the only one I have on order is Toby, but I do want Buzz. I was holding off on Buzz because I thought we might see. I guess this is not spoilers, but if it's still spoilers for you, I'm sorry. Don't listen. He had the actual suit at the end of the movie, like the actual Buzz, the way the toy looked, and I thought we might see that Hot Toy, but we haven't. So I guess it's the only one we're getting. So I do want that. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get that one.
There you go.
Just buy the who makes Takara Tomy? Just buy that version and put that head sculpt on.
You're right.
There you go. Joey, we love you, bud. How dare you? We love you. I forgot to change it here, but our God damn it. Let me change it here. Backtracking. Apparently there's a different connotation of this phrase that I was not aware of, and I don't want to steal anyone's phrase.
It's
Someone's like crispy
Kim
all
Kardashian?
over him.
Yeah, that's a copyrighted phrase for sure that you just fell right on
copyright. This is a copyright. So, I feel like
I want to know.
I feel like as streamers, we often are giving takes, as we see them. Sometimes we're literally seeing this stuff for the first time on the show. If we have sort of breaking news in the middle of the show, and I feel like it's
news.
We sometimes change our opinions, right? Initially I said I didn't love the Inart portrait, and obviously I've come around on that now that I've been presented with additional data, as Marco would say. And
it's actually pronounced data.
Data? Sorry, data?
Diata? Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now that I've been presented with more data, I've changed my mind. I think with the Spider-Man, it's the perfect example. Last week, I think most of us hated it. I think this week, even with the chat, I think that others have come around on it just a little bit. And I'm wondering, when have you guys backtracked on an opinion? Have you had a thought? You've been presented with more data. You changed your mind. Marco, you mentioned perhaps with the Logan or with other figures, it's happened recently for you. I'm curious.
I used to think that chocolate milk came from brown cows, and then I flip-flopped when I learned the truth. That's a Parks and Rec joke, if anybody doesn't know that.
Got him.
You got me.
Yeah, I think we do that all the time. That's why we have that the video in our repertoire.
A man can only admit when he was wrong and ask forgiveness.
I think it happens pretty often on the show where, we have one opinion and then later on it changes. I just most recently in my mind, my whole thing with Inart, I was like, guys, they haven't fucking released anything. Get off their fucking dick. Like, let's wait and see. And they fucking delivered. And I was like, guys, I was wrong. I admit it openly. Even John was surprised when I did it because I was like, hey, they fucking showed me. They fucking shut my ass up. So, yeah, I think it's always okay to backtrack. As long as you're admitting that you're doing it and not like, oh, I always thought it was
not trying to gaslight and try to change the narrative, right?
Like you.
Yeah, and that's what Ben is saying. We ragged on the Spider-Man last week.
Yeah, I still ragged on. I don't like it, so I have been consistent on not liking this. So,
like Dean, he ragged on Batman for like 5 years, and now he can't get enough of it.
I'm a big Batman fan. Yeah.
He bought a expensive statue of Joker's second girlfriend. That's how big of a Batman fan he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
His side piece.
That's right. So I will say it's like very human to change your mind, right? Like we shouldn't be afraid to change our minds, at least, as long as it's within reason. Like you don't want to be flip-flopping all the time based on no type of logic. Then it becomes a little bit like, all right, you make a damn decision. But I think
like
as we
white people.
Wow.
Wow.
Jesus.
What did he say?
Marco, just kidding. Marco's a man of the people.
Wow, I don't even know what that means, but
people.
That's right. They're great people. They're great people on all sides. But I will say
that's high praise.
Oh God.
So as we're collecting the data or the data, however you want to say it, you can change your mind. And I will just say that those in the hobby that say like, well, last week you thought this, and then this week you think this, and you're just backtracking because now you're scared to buy this collectible. I take an issue with that because it's a very expensive hobby. And I think we should all be like analytical in terms of our purchases. You don't want to be like Eddie getting 5 figures a week. And no, I'm kidding, Eddie. I'm backing off you for a second here. But you definitely want to think through these purchases, right? Like it's not something that you want to just do willy-nilly. I'm not targeting you, Eddie. I'm saying all of us. It's not something you want to
target.
We're not talking about Eddie anymore.
Piece of shit like
let me take a step back. We're not talking about Eddie anymore. We all want to think about these purchases, and I've been guilty of it, doing things that are very impulsive, like, oh, I need this whatever thing that's on 1/6 kit or on Sideshow. And you should take a step back and you should think about things. And when you're presented with different facts, then it's okay to kind of shift and be like, I wanted it this week, and now that I see it differently, I don't, or I didn't want it, and actually I've seen something in this figure, and now I'm going to go get it. I think that that's perfectly fine, and so backtracking is not an issue at all in my book.
Turns out people pay a lot of money for pictures of your feet, so it's crazy.
Wow. Eddie's thick
especially
Latin
if
soul.
you have, especially if you have that one toe that's bigger than the big toe, people freak out. So it's
Wait, hang on.
The tall toe? Wow.
Yeah.
What if they're equal? What if they're equal?
I don't know. I don't know how that works, dude. I don't think it works that way.
Eddie's got feet like Fred Flintstone. My goodness.
Wow.
So do I. Hobbit feet.
So I think about this constantly, even before people started talking shit. I always backtrack, right? I'm always second guessing myself. I feel like now I'm better at it. I think it takes time when you're a new collector, or even like a intermediate collector or a seasoned collector, whatever you are. I think people find the groove at different points in their collecting journey. So for me, it took a while. But anyway, I just thought specifically as content creators or being on YouTube a lot. I've been thinking that how if you go back to past In and Out streams or, past CW streams, there was definitely pieces that I thought were the best, and I would like, you couldn't argue with me at the time. I was like, no, they're the best. There's nothing else.
Still can't argue with you, Eddie.
Yeah, well,
Spoiler alert.
I feel like I'm getting a little better, maybe.
He's gotten way better.
He is. He's
the
boy is good.
Unless it's Lane and Inart, then I haven't. But anyway, yeah, I just think it's not fair to. Sometimes something pops up like the Spider-Man, and it's one picture, and we have to be able to give our thoughts on it. So we give harsh critiques like the second it goes up, or we see blogger photos, and like with the Cobb Vanth, we see blogger photos, and that's our opinion when we see that. If we see a video, it might change. I don't think that you can judge everybody based off of their first initial reaction. Even with figures and collecting past figures, you could go back and your mind can change. I was thinking it's kind of like food. Like you might have liked something growing up and now you don't like it anymore. Just like a taste in a figure could change, or a opinion about a certain thing that could change, or maybe you gain new knowledge. Like
food's a good example, bro. Like onions, in my entire life almost, I hated raw onions, and now onions are the fucking best.
Ketchup on tamales. It's just crazy people
All right,
out there.
that's fucking sick.
But anyway, yeah, I just specific pieces that I thought about were, I think I praised that Sideshow Darth Vader premium format, the newer one, like when it was first announced, thinking that was the best Vader ever. And once it was released, I was like, you know what? I don't like this Vader at all. So if you go back and watch past streams, you might be like, well, Eddie loved this, and now he hates it, or he just doesn't care for it. And it's not that I'm praising something back then and then changing my mind, like not wanting to pay for it when it comes out. You change your mind, bro. That's what happens. So I was thinking that was why I brought up the topic for this week. I think that especially if you're going to be on YouTube, you put yourself out there and you put out opinions that are definitely going to change. That's just common with everything, I think. So I thought that was interesting.
No, it's a really good topic, Eddie. And so Sam Giss says, what if your reaction is always negative? You find something to hate on no matter what, and then you order anyways. Well, I'd love to see an example of like if that's a specific type of person, but I feel like that's a little too binary, that you're like, you would paint somebody and be like, well, they're always negative, but yet they always buy it. I think that there's a lot more nuance in most people's opinions, and part of the fun of the hobby is just talking with people that have diverse opinions. Like, Eddie might not like what I like. Dean might not like what I like when it comes to the Dark Knight. We know that he's wrong definitively, but that's his opinion, and I could just take it for, all right, that's just like how he feels about it. It doesn't alter how I feel. It's just like we could have a conversation about it.
I think there's positives to find. Go ahead, Zach.
Sorry, Zio says, I changed my mind on 1/6. Never thought I'd collect them because of articulation back when I was only collecting 1/12. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I get that same mindset where I think people are being super negative, but I don't think people are. I think some people just want to be really constructive about something, and it can come off that way. Sometimes it's about changing your own perspective on what they're saying too. It's tough, and I feel like you learn that as you grow. That's why I try to say you can only call yourself out, right? So I try to say positive stuff or what I think would be positive lately, because I feel like starting YouTube, I was super negative all the time, and now I try to be more positive. Yeah, but sometimes it just comes. Sometimes things come off negative, and they don't mean to. It's just constructive criticism,
When you have to give an opinion on every topic that comes up, you're going to find a different way to say something that someone else hasn't said on the panel. And then sometimes maybe all you're left is with a small nitpick, and that could get amplified to make it seem like you don't really, enjoy that figure, but it could just be the small nitpick that you're feeling. So it's tough. Like we're all working on how we convey the messaging, but I guess it's also how you view what this forum is, right? Whatever the YouTube space is, it's all entertainment. It's all kind of like an open forum for people in the chat, for people on the panel to interact with each other. No one works for these companies. No one are really experts in pretty much every video. And so it's just kind of an open conversation where you've got to take the feedback that you see from others and make your own mind up.
Yeah, I think in the past, one of the critiques of CW was that we were overly negative, but I think a lot of times from my perspective, there are a lot of channels that are overly positive, and I wouldn't say that our job, like when we go into any stream, that, we tell the boys like, hey, we're going to be negative, but I don't think that everything that these companies makes is sunshine and roses, and I don't think that any company, even Inart, is perfect. And I think there are very few channels that do call out those inadequacies, and I think it is important as well, right, to not give people these rose-colored glasses about these, $200 to $600 or maybe even $1,000 figures. I think you should criticize fairly, but also be willing to say like, okay, well, this parts of the figure is good, but there is also some problems. So at least that's how I've always tried to go into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always try and say, I'll usually say my opinion, and then I'll say objectively, like removing my opinion, this looks like it would be a cool figure, or I like that they did this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually am not overly positive with my thoughts, even on the shit that I love. In fact, I'm probably obviously harder on it, right? Like all the Ahsoka figures that were coming out, like, oh, I don't think it's the best likeness, or this or that or the other,
I've never seen you criticize Final Fantasy VII. Actually, no, I will say for the remake, you were very critical of that.
Very. It still pisses me
He wouldn't
off.
shut up about it. He was like,
I heard him criticize some of the figures before. Like, I remember being on a small talk stream and him criticizing some figures. This, I thought about this, but I don't know if it pertains to the topic exactly or not, but the Cobb Vanth, like, I heard that people thought we were really hard on that figure, and I think just because something had a lot of work put into it does not mean that they
all of these things have a lot of work put into them.
Yeah, that's like, I heard someone say it's super detailed and well painted. Like, yeah, but the likeness isn't there, so it could.
But also,
be
you compare it to
super
like the
detailed.
Black Series Hasbro, that's like way more detailed in the shirt, and then the Hot Toys is like a rag, basically.
The one thing that you're supposed to nail is the likeness. Like, if it could be super painted and well detailed, but it still doesn't have the likeness, then you didn't hit the mark. And we're not like calling out I don't even know who freaking painted that thing.
Well,
they
if
have
you're a real
job,
collector, you would know. But...
Yeah, I know, right?
I think
that's. Wow. Oh gosh,
what a nerd, dude!
It's I think it was Yixi, right? But
it was Ligma.
There we go. Might be any of those. But I think that was one reason why some folks were, falling in love with it, because they're like, oh, it's done by a well-known sculptor, so it has to be kind of top tier. It's like we can still, call out when it's not valid, when it's not reaching.
Yeah,
the
just
heights
being
that
a
we
good
expect it to
sculptor
be.
doesn't get you a free pass,
Yeah.
right? Like Leonardo DiCaprio still makes some garbage shit every now and again.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's
Yes.
the best actor in the world.
Yeah.
Not Blood Diamond though.
Sam Giss says, I love you guys, but I've never seen a release you guys didn't hate on a little. That's fair. And like I said earlier when we were talking about the Wolverine, it's how much are you willing to put up with, right? One or two things, I get it. But like when you start adding up all the things that are wrong with it, it's like, are you okay putting up with that kind of stuff for the money?
You got to get that clip from Ratatouille when he's like, you're skinny for a guy that loves food. And he's like, because I love it so much. If I don't love it, I don't swallow. Like, that's what it is.
Whoa!
Yeah,
It's like 40-year-old virgin. Like,
yeah.
I love him so much, I stay completely away from them.
That's right.
Jesus. Yeah, we're very passionate about what we buy and collect, and so we want it to be perfect.
Yeah, it's also disingenuous.
Well, it is also
to
very
not-
expensive, right? Like,
And also,
this is a
Sam,
large portion.
Go to hell. So there's that.
No, Sam's an angel. No, but it's
dare
also
you.
disingenuous to not point out the flaws. And when everyone is being overly positive, if I got to be the one asshole to be like, this is kind of shitty, then so be it, I guess.
It is it's just your opinion. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, Trevor says Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
Or W-O-V.
Wolverine.
I don't know. It's Wolverine. Came in tonight. Looks good. Much better than I expected. Did you get the deluxe or the regular one? Because Eddie's concerned that his might have the misspelling, but he got the regular base.
That's true.
that's
Sam
true.
says Eddie just made me do a spit take with his swallowed cup.
Wow.
Wow. That's
I thought I was telling you go to hell, but that's funny.
Yeah, and so I just want to go back to, since Sam's the most engaged here in the chat, we're going to pick on him a bit, but he said
How dare you pick on
he
my
hasn't
Sam.
seen it. He hasn't seen a figure that we haven't hated on a bit, but I guess that's like one way to characterize us talking about it, right? If we're saying something different than how you feel or something that you feel might be negative, you might construe it as hate, but it's legitimately could be, I haven't even made up my mind on whether I'm purchasing this or not, and I'm kind of still talking it through, or I'm walking you through the thought process that I had when I determined whether I was going to purchase it or not. So it's just kind of the thinking critically that we should be accepting of, and that's all part of taking in new information and then talking about it in an open forum.
Plus, I love my mother, but I almost have no nice things to say about her.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Jesus
You just said you
Christ.
loved her.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just joking, man. God.
Let's see here. So we have the CW Figure of the Year Awards. If you guys want to vote on that, it would be much appreciated. I believe this should be the correct link. Let me copy that and find out. We have surprisingly much more votes than I ever thought was possible to this point. So get your votes in if you would like to have your voice be heard as part of the community, the overall community. We have some categories here. We have most improved, best overall, best under 35, best 1/12, best non-traditional, best third party, best portrait, best 1/6 scale figure, and figure of the year. And lots of different companies and figures have been nominated. Some have multiple nominations, like Inart and Hot Toys and Mars Toys. I did mention that we were getting a statement from Iconic Studios last week. They say, thank you very much for the nomination and recognition. Producing high-quality products that meet the high bar expected by the community will always be our number one priority. Best of luck to everyone else nominated in each category. So we appreciate them for getting back to us. We've also reached out to several other companies, and we'll continue to update you guys with any potential statements that they may give us. The awards are next Tuesday, so what we may do is once we get down to the wire, maybe Sunday night, we'll reach out to some of these companies that are projected to win and get some statements, maybe some videos that we can play during the show, and that way we can honor our award winners. So you have between now and Monday night to vote, but the results are really interesting this year, actually very interesting. So Again, thank you everyone that has voted, that has nominated. We really appreciate it. Every year we do this, and kind of like with Joey's graphic, it is a lot of work. Sometimes people don't appreciate the amount of work that goes into it, especially Pete. Pete put this wonderful graphic together for me, and I appreciate him being a good sport. I had changed the way that I did the graphics this year, and he didn't even skip a beat. It was Johnny on the spot. The next morning he had this done for me. So Pete, we really appreciate your help with keeping the professionalism of it all. And we did make some updates to the graphics for the finale. We'll have we're kind of getting lost on the segment, so I put the title of the segment on the slides as we go. So should be pretty good for next Tuesday. So movie news. Let's see here. Godzilla versus Kong. Kong and his protectors undertake a perilous journey to find his true home. Along for the ride is Gia, an orphan girl who has a unique and powerful bond with the mighty beast. However, they soon find themselves in the path of an enraged Godzilla as he cuts a swath of destruction across the globe. The initial confrontation between the two titans, instigated by unseen forces, is only the beginning of the mystery that lies deep within the core of the planet. I feel bad for Ben. We have this this segment, and I guess we're ignorant Americans, Marco. We don't realize that the streamings available to us might not be available to our compatriot across the border.
He just told us last night that he didn't have HBO, though. I've been picking movies on HBO for weeks now, so...
Well, to be fair, I think he said it before, but at any rate, Godzilla vs. Kong. So I first saw this movie right when it came out, and I saw it with Eddie. We rented at a theater in San Antonio. It was fucking beautiful. And it is one of my most treasured memories of watching film. I really like the I really like the modern legacy Godzilla stories. They're not as deep, and they certainly don't have the level of social commentary as like the original Godzilla film. These are turn your brain off, watch big monster fight big monster, and that's all I really need in my life. And this movie was fucking awesome. I haven't watched it probably since that night where we watched it with Eddie, and I was watching at the gym and watching two fucking big kaijus fight each other on a fucking Navy boat destroyer thing. It's a pretty fucking good way to work out. I was feeling it. Amazing scenes in this film. The Mecha Godzilla, not my favorite design for Mecha Godzilla, but gets the job done. That fucking red crystal axe with the kaiju back plate. It's just all fucking epic, right? Everything that you could want to see in a movie where Godzilla fights Kong and also fights Mecha Godzilla is here. The human plot with the podcaster and 11 makes fucking no sense. They find him in like 2 seconds. They go to some random Asian market and ask about bleach, and it leads them to this guy that fucking completely took me out of a movie where a giant monkey is fighting a giant ape. But outside of the stupid ass plot and this dude not knowing where his kid is at for God knows how long, this movie's fucking awesome. Could have used more Vera Farmiga like any other movie in the world, but she died in the last one, so there's that. I love this movie. I got to see it with Eddie. Very memorable experience, and it's not the most amazing film I've ever seen, but a good 8 out of 10. Grab some popcorn, shut your brain off, forget about your problems, and bro, Godzilla is throwing fucking mad hands in this movie. He's just fucking everybody up. Fucking awesome.
Gorilla versus Kong. Yeah, this movie.
Jesus, Gorilla versus Kong. Gorilla versus Donkey.
Yeah, the first Godzilla movie that came out. God, what year was that? 2015.
2014.
I thought you meant in the 90s.
2014.
1954.
No. Of this rendition of Godzilla. Sorry.
Oh, I have one more thing to say after Dean. Sorry.
You can say now.
Okay, so I've been on this Godzilla kick because I thought Godzilla -1 was a prequel. Apparently, it's not even related to the Godzilla continuity, which I feel like I wasted a bunch of fucking time. But I was telling the Patreon. Whoops, I should have Googled that. I was telling the Patreon chat, like, look, Godzilla 1, fucking incredible. I'm talking about the OG Godzilla. Amazing film. Yeah. To think a country 10 years after the nuclear bomb is making a kaiju film that really deals with post-Japan. The Wii was out 10 years ago, right? I can't even imagine 10 years ago 2 of our cities being blown the fuck off the map. And they're making this movie, and it's not best movie, but the message is so important. Like, hey, this weapon... In the movie, this guy has this weapon. He's like, it should never, ever be used for war. We're going to use it this one time. I'm going to destroy my notes. I'm going to kill myself. Like, very powerful ending. And I was like, look, I watched Godzilla 2. It was awful. I hated it. And so I was telling the Patreon chat, like, bro, give me some good Godzilla movies. Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, 2002, banger-ass film. You see Godzilla in the first 20 seconds. But in that film, it's like a direct sequel to the first one. They resurrect Godzilla's skeleton to make Mechagodzilla. And they kind of threw like a little Easter egg to that with the Mechagodzilla. They had the King Ghidorah skull, and they were like using like the neural...
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, oh, cool. Like, that's kind of like a little nod to the first one. But anyways, that was a whole tangent for that. But
yeah,
I thought it was
probably
neat.
Appreciate that Easter
better
egg.
that you've never said any of that.
You can just clip this out.
I quit.
So for the 2014 Godzilla, there wasn't enough Godzilla. It was like every time they showed him on screen, it would cut away. It was like, God damn! Like, can we please stop focusing on the humans? I'm here to see Godzilla.
Or more Elizabeth Olsen's fine though.
Yeah.
Oh, she is in that movie. You're right.
Then they did Godzilla, King of the Monsters with King Ghidorah.
Amazing.
And I still felt like there was, I guess, enough humans in it, but it really focused on the monster fights, and that was great. And then you get to Godzilla versus Kong. And they just muddied it up with too much people shit that really didn't have any bearing on the story at all. It was almost just an excuse to like introduce where King Kong gets the axe, and then where Mechagodzilla came from. It was just like, just have these people randomly find this shit, and then that's how we'll introduce this plot device. It's like, I guess, but whatever. That's my biggest complaint, is just too much people stuff that doesn't actually matter. You could take all of that shit out and the movie doesn't change at all. Yeah. So that being said, Godzilla versus Kong, I mean, what more could you ask for? It's so fucking cool and fun to watch. Godzilla fucks up King Kong. I thought it was going to be a little closer. It's not close at all. Godzilla fucks him up. And then Mechagodzilla comes out of nowhere and only King Kong can beat him. It was like this weird power like triangle of, you could beat him, but you're not strong enough to beat him, but he's strong enough to beat him even though you whooped his ass. It was a little confusing, but again, still fun to watch. I thought it was great. Too much people in it. I heard this next one is like a really nice balance. I'm assuming that's a sequel to this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Zach, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. The sequel to... Well, there's 2 Godzilla movies that are out or coming out. So the minus one is not related to this at all. And then the next one is... Yeah, that...
It's a Kong Godzilla movie title.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm excited to see that because I heard it was really good. So, yeah, this is a banger film. This is a good. Whoever picked this, good job.
Yeah, that was me, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Kong gets the Infinity Gauntlet in the next one, which is pretty dope.
For real,
too. But I'm incredibly excited for that one. This was one that, since I was a kid, this is a matchup that we all wanted to see on screen, right? So the fact that we finally got the film, and then it wasn't complete dog shit, like it had no business being this good. So I really liked the first Godzilla, the Bryan Cranston one, and then the second was a King of the Monsters. I really disliked that because all the human stuff, like you guys talked about, was so disinteresting. I didn't really care, and that should have been an epic film with all the kaiju they had, but it was just kind of boring. And then Kong Skull Island was okay. It was kind of a little bit better than that. But then this just rocked. Like it's definitely a really dumb film. The human stuff is pretty goofy, but it's done significantly better than King of the Monsters, because there actually are some redeeming qualities for the humans, and you kind of feel those stakes. But at the end of the day, it's all about the kaiju fighting. So I think they absolutely nailed this one. And yeah, just completely blown away by how good. It had no business being this good. But I'm just glad that something like this exists with this level of quality. And the next one is probably going to be terrible, but I'm sure it'll be fun at the very least.
Wow, hearing your guys' thoughts, maybe I do just have bad taste. I really like King of the Monsters, man.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying films.
King of the Monsters is fucking awesome.
I thought
it just was.
Was this better or worse than Malibu's Most Wanted, Eddie?
Oh gosh.
You're gonna make me keep doing this to you, man?
How dare you? Don't do it! Don't do it!
See, I think the best thing about this was watching it with you guys. I didn't hate it the first time. I just thought King of the Monsters was better when I watched it, and then actually watching it again. Yeah, watching them again, I like them all. Like, King of the Monsters just has some really badass fights, and this one has some cool fights. I think the fights are better in King of the Monsters. But I really like that you get more Kong in this one, like with that whole new world area and all that. I thought that was really cool. And Kong is my favorite, even though Godzilla's gonna whoop his ass. Like, I still love Kong just because it's a giant muscular gorilla, like it's just badass. And I thought it was cool they gave him the axe to like kind of compete with Kong.
That was a dope
or with
wrinkle.
Godzilla. I mean, yeah, that was cool. I really didn't care for Mecha Godzilla. I thought that was kind of lame.
He's very like skinny. I don't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like the look of it. I thought, and I remember being spoiled for that too. Didn't we all get spoiled together, or we were watching something and yeah, we were like, oh shit. I think we did this live. We were watching it together and we were like, was that fucking Mecha Godzilla? And we were all like, what the I remember something like that happening.
We were watching a trailer or something.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I like the movie. I don't even mind some of the human parts. Like, I really liked the Japanese dude's character in King of the Monsters, the one who sacrifices himself. He's really good. The one who's let them fight.
Oh yeah,
really
okay,
good.
yeah, he's a redeeming quality of that.
In this one, I actually really like the podcast guy.
Just he's so funny.
A little bit of comedy in there was fine with me.
The little fat kid is funny too.
Yeah, he's funny, man. But yeah, I didn't like super hate any of the human parts. I didn't love it. But it's a good movie with that, just because of the fighting stuff. But I definitely agree with, I think Sam or someone said sometimes you just want to see monsters fight. I think that's why most of these people go into this. And then Sunnyville brought up the Monarch show is a prequel series. That's kind of the thing I'm having trouble with in that show, is the fact that that's more of the human based stuff, and I kind of just want to see the monsters. They haven't showed that much monsters. But yeah, it's good. I love this. I'm excited for the new one. Dude, my buddy just got to see the new one. The same way I saw Aquaman 2, he went to see this.
I feel like that's one that I wouldn't want to see a pre-screening of.
That's what I told
him.
CGI. Yeah, I was like, was it bad? And he said it was, for the most part, it was pretty decent. He said the big fight at the end was...
It was two guys that came out with action figures.
Yeah.
Imagine.
But he said it was pretty good. So I'm guessing it's along the same lines as this, like pretty good, but you don't know which one's the best one. They're all pretty good, so it's like that. But I'm excited for it, man. I love that we're getting so much Godzilla stuff. I'm actually gonna go see. Yeah, I'm gonna go see -1 tomorrow, so should be fun.
-1 was intense. Like, it's a great fucking film, but just very, very intense for sure. Can we all agree? That as well. Just the human parts is just really, obviously it's based a lot in real events. Can we just all agree that Pacific Rim is the best kaiju film, though?
Bro.
In terms of the modern...
Yes.
Oh, no contest, dude.
No contest.
No contest.
Yeah. So damn good.
Bro, Pacific Rim is such a fucking banger film.
If we could get...
Oh, my God.
If we could get... what are they called? Why am I blanking on the name of the the giant.
Danger?
Yeah, if we
Yeah,
could get the
Jaeger?
mechs, the Jaegers. If we could get the Jaegers in this series, dude, that would be like I'd be busting nuts all over the place like Ben in the theater.
It'll happen.
I love the Gypsy Danger design so much. It's so fun.
Every time I see
Did you
Pacific
see?
Rim, I'm just like, can we please get a fucking Gundam series for the love of God?
Right?
For the love of God, right? Yeah, dude, I would definitely. And even if they did like a live action, what do you love? The Robotech. Like if they
Yeah.
did movies, that would be. sick.
Apparently that's a thing. They've been saying that for years though, so I guess that remains to be seen.
There you go. Let's see here. Up next for movie of the week, we have Die Hard as part of our Christmas series because apparently that's a Christmas movie. Just kidding. I gave the approval on that. And then we have The Night Before. This is by Ben, and then The Night Before chosen by Eddie, which you said this is a comedy, Eddie. This movie,
Dude,
The Night Before.
yeah, it's hilarious. I hope you guys like it. It's freaking hilarious.
It's a fun film.
Let's see. So that's our upcoming movie of the week. We do also actually we're closed on this run, so I forgot to take this line up. But if you got a Christmas ornament, I appreciate it. I think I'm shipping the last one here in the next few days. But yeah, they're collector's items, and we will not reissue this design next year. Dean, can we say thank you to the Patreonies, please, that keep the lights on?
The Patreonies. Yeah, we'll give a quick shout out. Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Geary, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Skins, Figs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet Danikin, Lee Walker, Stephen Kratt, Big Old Fern, Caesar Marquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomansky, Rick DiGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Ezersina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Tukathri Watt, Derek B., Arias Portillo, Alvin J., Aurelius Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Mathon, Stephen Pritchett, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer.
Wow.
What the fuck was that?
What?
That was the noise.
Oh, dude, it lagged on my end. It went burr, 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 bing.
Jeez.
Wow.
That was weird. It was like
I don't think
all
it did
off
that.
key and shit.
Wow. Well, apologies if it was off key for the people at home. We have 2 stickers for November, December. The Just Another Friday Night sticker and the CW300 sticker. The CW300 sticker might be the coolest sticker we've ever done. The red 300s are all in red crystal glitter. And the rest of the text is a normal sticker. It looks fucking sick. I cannot wait for that one to come in.
That's badass.
There may be one sticker for the top tier that we do. I don't know how it's gonna look, but I place an order, but don't quote me on that. It's the Dean. It's the Ozol Michael Jordan crystal glitter sticker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. Patreon starts at. Okay, well, you don't have to have one. Patreon starts at $5 for the hot seat, which is the digital tier. The $7.50 for the Sweet Angel stickers and the Ox After Dark replay. $15 for the Figure Fix Assistance tier, the Certified Crispy, and $25 for the What a Guy. Doubles of all the stickers we send and the Pog Deluxe set on your first pledge. YouTube channel members, we have Absolute Irwin, Jesus Ben, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen. There we go. Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ Jaminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotchka, Gotham Xenobites, Justin Sports Card, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Glitterus, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 1/6 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Giss, Garden Lord, SpongeBob SquareBall, Sunnyvale Rust, The Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. Excuse me. If you want to join the YouTube channel membership, you can do so for 99 cents if you're a Patreon member. You get loyalty badges and custom chat emojis as well as member shoutouts, or $2.99 if you're in the Peanut Gallery. You get member shoutouts and all the other perks. T Public, I finally updated the slide because it's been fucking forever. We have a bunch of cool designs, many of them drawn by Dean and Manny, graphics wise. Some classics like the CW Philo the Prince Zorbo, the Ox PD shirt, the Oxcon shirt, the Brucky Lees.
I still got to get that one. Damn.
Yeah, these are some all-time banger shirts. And then for tomorrow, so sorry, for unboxing on Mondays, Question Leak on Sundays, OFAC last Thursday, Small Talk this Thursday. Dean, I think we should put it to the chat for tomorrow 10:30. I mentioned this, but I didn't know if you ever saw it. But we should have them vote if they want Ox PD or After Dark. So we might put up a post tomorrow.
Put up a poll.
Put up a poll, let the fans decide. We were going to try to play on Sunday, but Dean had to go out of town, and we don't want to run it without him. So, and then Live and Let Dice. I'm going out of town this week, so it may be on Sunday this week. Going on a little vacation. So
wow.
But yeah, lots of great content on the network as per usual. Be sure to get your votes in for the CW Awards, and yeah, we're running. There's a few more things I want to talk about, but we can talk about that tomorrow if we do After Dark. But, yeah. Any shout-outs you want to give, boys?
Shout out Marco. 2,000 subscribers.
Why?
Wow.
Thank you, bro.
I was telling him, Zach, getting the 2,000
I'll probably be on
for
the
us,
plane for Let's Get Nuts, Ben, but okay. I'll try.
Getting the 2,000 for us was such an uphill battle. And this dude fucking gets there in like an afternoon. I was like, God damn, okay, I guess.
Well, I'm very lucky to have. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have the support of CW. How else do you think Ben and I did all this? So, yeah, no, appreciate you guys and Dean. Appreciate you being on the stream, bro.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I felt so bad. I did set my alarm. I just
what a dick, dude.
The motherfucker streaming at 9 a.m. on Sunday because he wants to watch football all day. That's not my fault. How dare you?
Bro. I will say, go ahead, Dean.
Oh yeah, I was just it's 2,000 subscribers is quite an accomplishment. So, you should be proud. And
oh, I want to give a shout out,
especially for Marco. God damn.
Yeah,
well, it's all Gigi, of course.
Yeah, I mean, she's really the star. I will just say, if you watch that stream, I'm so viciously hungover. I normally sound like shit.
Bro,
I sound especially terrible.
You jumped in the room, and I was like.
You sure you want to do this? We had to give away that fucking blurg. But quickly before Zach does this, shout out to Philip the Fool. Happy birthday.
Yeah, Philip the Fool.
And Cuervo.
And Cuervo, yes.
I want to give a shout out to Nick's Collectibles in the chat. I know we mentioned a few times, but these things take a lot of work, right? Like doing the show takes a number of hours to prepare, and obviously physically to be here for a few hours. Making graphics. I spent like probably 3-4 hours on the awards graphics. I'm sure Joey and all the other streamers that we love, LWO peeps and all the people that we love. These things take a lot of time. And sometimes we have good shows, and sometimes we don't. More often we don't. But it was kind of disappointing on Sunday. I know... I didn't realize how Nick does his wrestling shows. I thought it was like all pre-recorded. And so he was having some tech issues, and then like they were kind of playing it off a little bit, and there was already like some like scripted tech issues with Niche. And so I thought it was like all part of like the banter of the program, but I think once people realized that it just wasn't working, I saw like a bunch of smart ass comments like, "Oh, this show sucks," or like, this is a waste of time. And you have to realize, like, to do something like that, like, he's making every character, I imagine, assigning, like, custom moves, and not only does he do it, then he sends it to us for approval, and then we make changes, and then he redoes them, and then he has to do all the matches, and, get his friends to be there for the commentary, and, like, he's not making, I imagine, the money for the time, and I talked to him, and he said there was many days where he stayed up till like super late, on his own free time, 3 a.m, working on everything to get it to work. So all that to say, Nick, I think what you're doing is so original. It takes so much work. I can't even imagine the amount of work it takes. and I was really disappointed to see the community, even if it was just like a smart ass comment, just say like, "Oh, this sucked" or "This was a waste of time," because at the end of the day, they may have wasted like 30 minutes of their time, but you wasted like many, many weeks and hours of time to do that. So I'm excited to see if you decide to reattempt that stream. I'm excited to see it. Obviously, we'll support it either way. We appreciate you considering us to be on that program. I think it's so cool. And yeah, I just want to give you a shout out because I know when I talked to him afterwards, he was kind of a bit bummed that it kind of went sideways. And sometimes it's out of your control. we've done OXPD. We've got people in the chat. We're having a great time, and
yeah,
fucking the game just will not cooperate. And
yeah,
there's nothing you can do, like at all. It's just when shit just doesn't work, it just doesn't work. And it's frustrating. There's nothing more frustrating than wanting or planning to do something, like a stream, and it just doesn't work. And
yeah,
it's incredibly frustrating. So shout out to Nick. Great guy. He's a good kid. And just to see some of those comments, it kind of hurt my feelings for him because I know how hard that shit is. And
yeah, that's pretty bullshit.
Yeah, it's not like he's a monetized channel making however much money. Is just doing it for the fun of it, and it's just there's a little bit of a kick in the chest, I imagine.
He says he's bringing it back soon though, so love to see that.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
it's original, it's unique, it's just really fun content.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah, it totally blows my mind every time someone walks down the ramp. I'm like, dude, that looks exactly like that person. I don't know how he does it, and it's like magic. It's like literally watching a magician on stage. Like, how is he doing that? That's like how I feel watching it. It's a lot of fun.
It's even more impressive because he's like coming up with like the single band elbow drop like live. I thought that was all pre-scripted.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, good stuff. Hope Ben feels better. I hate being sick. It's the worst. It is the absolute worst. But anyone else want to have any shout outs you want to give? No? Anybody?
Nothing more from me.
I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
I'm Eddie.
We love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.